America. Last week, we witnessed a one-of-a-kind event. A felon destroyed a government official. No, not that one. I'm talking about the debate. Trump did something we've never seen before. He took down a vegetable, and Sleepy Joe proved he's the modern-day JFK because his fucking brain was all over the place. Listen, Kamala may be the Jamaican one, but Biden looked like he had a blood clot, if you ask me. He got more drool on that podium than the Haktua girl with a sinus infection. Now, the question everyone's asking is who won the debate, and it depends. Depends. You know, the adult diapers that allowed these two Metamucil monkeys to talk for 90 minutes without a piss break. I mean, Trump's bladder must have looked like Lizzo's yoga ball. And let's be honest, Biden didn't make it all the way through. His underwear were more soaked than a Dubai strip mall. Trump easily won the debate, which I'm sure he'll never bring up again. Biden's performance was frankly terrifying. Biden took pauses so pregnant, Alabama declared them human life. It was so concerning, even CNN said he should no longer be running for president. Hey, CNN, he's already the fucking president. Why are we all okay with this? This is the most important job in the world. Would you let Biden do any other job? If he was announced CEO of Apple, you would sell your shares in a heartbeat. I wouldn't let him run Apple. I wouldn't let him eat a fucking apple. It's applesauce only for this guy, okay? What about babysitting? You gonna let Biden babysit? Fuck no. The only person letting Biden babysit is Casey Anthony. So it begs the question, why on earth is Biden still running? Now, is he a maniacal, power-hungry narcissist? Maybe. Or is he a man of the people? Is it because he's the last line of defense against the bigger threat to our country? No, not Trump. A woman who has the charm of a genital wart and the cackle that would make Van Gogh sew his ear back on just to cut it off again. The Wicked Witch of the West Indies, Kamala Harris. Sure, Biden has the plane on autopilot, but at least we don't have Kamala Akbar in a cockpit. So here we are, America, the greatest reality show in history. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant. Obviously, we gotta talk about this debate, man. Did everybody see the debate?
Yes, sadly.
I saw the important part.
Why'd you cook Kamala like that?
I loved it.
I had a good one for Kamala that wasn't in there, but yeah, she's Jamaican and Indian, so she makes her own wigs.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
But I do think that Kamala's job security, and I wonder if they do this shit on purpose, like. You know how sometimes we, So like sometimes we assume that these political parties are idiots, right? Like we see a lot of the politicians are like, they're fucking retards. Like they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They make mistakes all the time. They're bumbling. But is it job security to give Joe Biden the most unlikable VP?
Yeah.
So that he never has to worry about his job.
Yeah.
Because if Gavin Newsom, now I know people hate Gavin Newsom, like everybody in LA and all these other motherfuckers hate him, but there are people that love him.
He would probably win.
And he looks like a politician.
Yeah.
If he was Biden's VP, I think they're yanking Biden.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Because they probably choose someone who can get a swath of votes that
That's
they
the
need,
other thing.
But also they don't want...
kind of perfect.
What's that QB2 thing that we were talking about?
Oh, yeah. You don't want a backup quarterback. Mm-hmm. It was Cam Newton, who's too good to where if the team starts losing, all of a sudden the press is going, hey, put in Cam, whatever. So you kind of want a backup quarterback that's not going to challenge for that position
Which is part of why Kaepernick didn't get signed. Because it's like, if you're struggling and he comes in, theoretically wins 3 games in a row, we got a whole fucking quarterback controversy. So I bet a lot of starting quarterbacks were not lobbying for Colin Kaepernick to be their backup.
I wonder if they actually manipulate the media to make Kamala less likable. I mean, she does a good job of helping him.
Well, she doesn't do anything. Like, I haven't heard anything about anything she's done except her laughing.
I think they muzzle her.
Yeah.
Because I think we were ready to like her, but she just fumbled it somehow. Just said a few things we didn't like, and then we're like, now we're done. Yeah. We're good.
I think we were saying this on a different app, but like a Jamaican and an Indian with no opinions.
Yeah, you've never seen it before.
I don't believe this.
Yeah, they've canceled each other out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys saw the debate or what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thoughts?
I mean, it was a fucking nightmare. It was an abject nightmare.
I will say, on the positive
Trump
side,
bodied him, but also just like, he's saying a lot of wild shit too. What is like the pro-abortion ruling or the anti-abortion ruling? Everybody wanted it. It's like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think y'all got it. If I'm Republican moderate, I'm looking at that like, no, that's why we didn't destroy in the midterms. Yeah. Because we passed that the Supreme Court overturned Roe.
Yeah. It's a performance, and it's what you say and how you say it. Trump lied, Biden couldn't speak. So,
yo, what did Trump lie about?
Bro, I saw your tweet.
Nah.
And I was so
I
frustrated.
mean, he's just saying everything he did is the best.
Everything.
Everything he did. Oh, every expert is saying what I did is best. Just that. Everybody
I'm not saying he didn't lie, but I'm saying, what did he lie about?
Please just pull it up. It's almost every time he opens his
Because I
mouth.
thought that the Democrats did that beautifully. They were like, all right, we fucked this one up. Biden shit the bed, but we need to position Trump in a way. And Biden essentially was like, yo, I didn't do good, but at least I told the truth. So now Trump is this liar. But I bet Biden lied too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sure.
expect politicians to lie, so it's not that
That's
good,
the thing.
but-
Like this is a job interview.
I think the amount of lying was so far past the point. There
egregious.
always are fact checking on debates. There's always fact checking. I think the amount of if he said one thing he could have done better, or one thing he would do differently, everything he did was the best.
He was just doing feelings, no facts. That's all.
That's what he did.
Which is fair, but it ain't.
And it's fun. It's a fun part of the pod.
You
It's a fun part of the
Do
debate.
you want to hear some feelings, no facts?
Yeah.
He said that
Facts, no feelings, or feelings, no facts?
this is feelings, no facts.
Okay.
Trump said that everybody wanted Roe versus Wade overturned.
Yeah.
Trump's
Facts.
claims are, again, this is from CNN.
Yo,
so
people were
fucking-
upset at me about that post, about the abortion post I put up. I thought that was a very reasonable question.
Son, me too. 9 months?
I asked for everybody who hasn't seen it. I just posted on my Instagram. I was like, yo, because there was a discussion in the debate where Biden and Trump were talking about abortions at 9 months.
Yeah.
And Biden wouldn't give a declarative answer about how it's wrong. Like he was being a little loosey-goosey on it. And Trump was like,
Because he doesn't have to answer that ridiculous statement because no one has ever.
I hate that. I hate when they do this.
No, see, that's
I
he
hate when they
couldn't
do
it.
this.
He
You're
couldn't
gay.
do
No,
it.
you're gay. You're gay.
Son,
No, you're being gay.
I am.
You're being
But
gay.
still.
So he'll
No, you're
argue.
being gay right now.
Wait.
Now he's being gay.
He's gotta rep his
Don't
site,
let him
bro.
do that
Let
gay
me- let me
shit.
He got some scoops.
Nah,
He got some
it's,
scoops.
it's July,
He got
son.
some
Cut that shit.
Yo, so-
You had your month.
So he'll answer questions about golf. He'll challenge those.
Yeah.
But when Trump is like, they're aborting babies at 9 months, Biden doesn't have to acknowledge that?
Nah.
The golf thing, I
You
got
gotta talk about your
So
handicap.
check it. So check it.
I get it.
Come on.
So check it. Mark had a good point about this. And he said that it was so much like the gun laws where Democrats would be like, why do you need a rocket launcher? And Republican politicians don't want to say, yeah, we don't need rocket launchers. We should outlaw rocket launchers because they feel that their constituents will be upset about it. So Biden's lack of an answer, the fact that he couldn't just be like, yo, yeah, taking a baby out there at 9 months for no fucking reason is, you're killing a baby.
Yeah.
The fact he couldn't just say that straight up is the reason why I posted it. I was like, wait, is this even a discussion? I thought everybody's on the same page.
But I think that's more of a fumble than it is him avoiding answering the question or responding to it.
Oh.
Like it was really a fumble because in the past he has vocally said like, no, that's ridiculous.
Okay, that's
it was
fair.
One fucking senator said some stupid comment and they were being
the Virginia dude.
Yeah, and he was being like, what's it called? Hyperbolic. And
You don't
people
be hyperbolic about
people
abortion,
ran
though.
with that shit as
Yeah.
if all Democrats want abortion.
Okay,
at
so
9
people are
months.
upset in the comments, and it was really funny in the comment section because
Yeah.
half the people were like, yeah, that's crazy to do that. And I'm looking at those comments like, all right, yeah, those are sane people. And then other people are like, you're a fucking monster for even posting this.
You're a man. You don't have a right to say
Bro,
this.
I'll be honest. I spoke to a few people, and we know at least one of them. And they said up to any point in time, they think it's okay to do. And it's their body.
Not
and
me.
and then it's a...
It was Paxil. It was Paxil.
And then it's a parasite. And they're like, it's a parasite until it comes out of me. Now,
Yeah,
that's what they said.
That's so funny.
great.
Yo,
and I tried to just ask questions. They're like, you're not going to change my mind about this at all.
I mean,
you know
the
what? I can
only
respect-
time is if it's the life of the mother.
That's what I said. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
if
the
it's the life
only
of the
time.
mother,
Yeah.
of course.
gotta
But
do
if
what
it's
you gotta
not,
do. But here's
you're
what's
lazy.
yeah.
You're lazy. You had time.
Yeah.
Don't give me that shit. You
Yeah.
had time.
You
You're
procrastinated.
lazy.
You
Exactly.
procrastinated.
We all procrastinate. It happens, but you paid a price.
If you looked at this thing
can't-
as a parasite for 8 months, why are you waiting?
Yeah, who would have a worm in them for 8 months?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Carrying around an extra 30
Yo,
pounds.
Shout out RFK. How long was that worm in his
He's
brain?
got to get that worm aborted.
He really does have to
He can
do
get that
that.
worm aborted.
Don't
He
let that
was
shit
right,
sit
though. He
around.
could do better than them in the debates with
Yeah,
a worm.
RFK won that debate. Yo.
Yeah.
100%.
That's
He
crazy.
might have won that debate. I mean, it's they did the right thing by not having him there because America would be in disarray right now.
Yeah.
I mean, America would literally be going, I'm voting for the worm brain guy.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening in this country? Where the best possible candidate just admitted that a worm ate their brain.
Yeah. No, that's where we are. That's what I'm asking myself. Where are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a theory I've heard that the Democrats
about abortion or Democrats.
No, which do you want to stay on abortion?
Yeah.
Here's the abortion thing: is there's a weird disconnect or whatever cognitive dissonance where you don't want to admit at a certain point is taking a life because that allows you to be okay with it. My general feeling, and this is gonna probably upset both sides. You are once it has a heartbeat, that's a life. I don't know how it's not a life. Definitionally, you're taking a life. If you decide I'd rather take the life now than have him live an entire life or her where he's unwanted, I can respect that decision. But the idea that it's not taking a life is crazy. It's as crazy as a zygote at a IVF farm is a life. That's not a life. This is like, you guys are both being crazy.
Yeah. Neil Brennan said to me, it's kind of killing, kind of a life. And he's like, that's why it's so hard because it's not really killing, but it's not really, what is it? Yeah. And so now no one has an answer.
All right, fair enough.
But the funniest thing from Biden on that.
But 9 months.
That shit. What are we even talking?
You're
kicking.
a murderer.
What's he kicking for?
But I think
it kicks back, bro. You are engaging with the kid. The kid is in there pounding you out.
Yeah.
Like you're killing something.
But the kid's kicking a woman. You know what I mean? What do we do with woman kickers? Ooh. We got to take them out, dude. That's what happens. If you're kicking a woman for 9 months, you might have to get put down.
You think that they deserved it? Is that what you think?
Some of them.
You think some of these babies deserved it?
If they kick hard,
you can intro Kendrick on a concert.
That's what I'm saying.
Or you could, if they're good at football, you just cut them for half a season, bring them back later. What's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But the funniest thing is, they asked Biden the easiest question: Roe versus Wade. What are you gonna do? And Trump was like, everyone wanted it, and everyone was like, oh fuck. And then they asked Biden, he was like, I want Roe versus Wade. We had an immigrant that raped a woman. And everyone was like, what the fuck are you talking
that was
about?
His biggest fumble.
Why did you bring that up?
Yeah, I know.
Why are we so comfortable with all the fumbles, Hell? Like, he's the president. He's not our grandpa. I think it's an important distinction we got to start making. Like, we're allowing him to make the gaffes. We kind of laugh at the gaffes, and it's like, no. The job, you don't have gaffes.
Well, this is the theory I was going to bring up. There's a theory that, because the debates normally start in September, there's a theory that Democrats pushed to have it in June so Biden could kind of expose himself and they could swap him out. Yeah. And then everybody would be like, yeah, this needed to happen.
Yeah, but what's so funny about that theory is, like, he's already been exposed himself. Nobody just found out that he's retarded now.
Yeah. But now we really saw it. Now we really
But I think they were all just like remembering past debates and was like, maybe he might have.
We thought he was too old in 2020, and he did great in those debates, honestly. They drugged him up or whatever, and he bodied.
And I think it's just the pressure of the debate got to him because the next day he looks pretty good, like doing one of his rallies, but then it's like low pressure. You have a teleprompter. He has the crowd energizing him and shit like that. But that debate, he looked like two different people.
Yeah, he cracked under pressure.
Yeah. It's like,
that's just weird.
Yeah.
Who chokes after they won a championship and they go to repeat?
That's what I'm like in the middle, because I'm like, I know he's doing these gaffes now, but he's doing a pretty good job in the presidential role. So I'm like,
here's the thing. I think deep down, none of us believe he's making any decisions.
Yes.
I'm cool with that.
And here's the thing. Okay, so you're cool with it. That is cool. But you also have to empathize with people who are like, I'm voting for a person, not the handlers.
Yeah.
So if the person isn't making decisions, my vote is not represented. Now we don't have a democracy.
Yeah, but I saw what that person did the last 4 and shit was too crazy.
I'm not saying vote for Trump. What I'm saying is, if somebody voted for Biden, if they were like, I really like your ideas and I like what you're doing, and then they find out he's not making the decisions, you can understand how they might be feeling a little disillusioned, right?
Hell yeah.
So we have this weird thing that's happening where it's become normalized to believe that our president is not all there and other people are making decisions and nobody can point to the other people.
Because you just want to justify your sides. But then those people are very anti-Trump. Why are you anti-Trump if you just don't like that one individual? There's like, again, you just justify your side. So, it doesn't matter what the individual does. You're voting for the people behind the individual. Those guys are going to let things not get too crazy. But then Trump specifically is dangerous. How is Trump specifically dangerous if it's just going to be the handlers?
No.
You see what I'm saying? Not you. Those people who are like, oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Biden's just getting handled anyway. They'll look at Trump and be like, well, no, you can't let that individual have the White House.
I see what I'm saying? What you're saying.
There's like a logical flaw there.
I see the cognitive dissonance there. It's like but what I would say in that situation is, when I look at Biden, I'm like, he needs to be handled. When I look at Trump, he will never let anybody handle him.
Okay, that's fair.
And I think that's their concern. And I think that's also like the party system concern too. I don't think the Democratic operation is going to be that upset if they have like a traditional Republican come in. right? Because they know they can kind of control them. And by them, I don't think the Democrats, I mean like the fucking Boeing and the pharmaceutical companies and all the people who, you know, butter the bread. I think they're like, yeah, we can win. I think they look at Trump and they're like, yeah, this guy, he's going to do whatever the fuck he wants. That scares the shit out of people. But that's also what people like. If you feel disillusioned by the pharmaceutical industry, by the military industrial complex, if you feel disillusioned by every aspect of industry or government, you want the dude who's not going to listen to them.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the debate. Do you want a crazy guy that'll do whatever he wants or a crazy guy that can't do anything he wants?
Low key, I think they want a crazy guy that will do the opposite of what those old establishment industries will do.
Who are you speaking for?
Like Trump supporters.
Okay.
And I think they're like, I just want somebody to point a finger at those people that have fucked me over. They believe that they've been
Which
fucked
I
over.
completely empathize with.
Hell yeah.
Those guys get fucked at every turn. We kind of scoff at them, laugh at middle America, flyover states, blah, blah, blah. Of course they resent the establishment and the coastal cities and all that. We've done nothing but look down on them and not help them. So fuck you. At least give me the guy who says fuck you back on my behalf.
They don't feel a way that during the first 4 years, he didn't really drain the swamp and get rid of these motherfuckers or do anything against these institutions.
I think he still speaks enough to them that I would rock with. I think if they wouldn't elect him for a third term, but I think he does enough. And the other guys haven't done anything for them, so they're like, all right, well, at least this guy makes me feel good.
You just vote for who's closest to your opinions. Like all these religious people voting for Trump, they know damn well this motherfucker ain't religious.
He paid for more abortions than anyone in this room except Alex.
Like, he can't.
Stop it, I never pay.
You beat Medicare. Big announcements. The last leg of cities for the Life Tour. San Antonio, Las Vegas, Cleveland, Columbus, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Denver, Cincinnati, Rama, Ontario, Salt Lake City, Reno, San Jose, Portland, and Hawaii. Those are the last cities. God bless you. I appreciate you all. I love y'all, and I'll see you soon. Peace.
All right, guys. First of all, I got some shows. I know I'm in Jacksonville at the end of July. I know I'm in Hawaii at the end of August. Those dates and many more. September, we're going to start really kicking it up again. AkashSingh.com. But I want to tell you guys something that I'm very excited about. I am a partial owner of a chai shop. It's chai and natural wines. My brother, forever, one of my good friends, Arjun Gupta, married a beautiful Indian woman from Assam, where they make the best tea in India, quite possibly. And they wanted to make a chai shop. They partnered up with somebody who knows what the fuck he's doing. And it's fantastic chai, fantastic chaat, fantastic food. It's desi as fuck. It's called Spontaneous. If you want to get a little taste to go, if you want to get good chai, honestly, this is the first great chai in New York. I'm being completely serious. I say that with no disrespect to anybody else, but I just hadn't found great chai until this. It is on 28 J Street in Brooklyn. That's Dumbo. I don't mind Dumbo as much as the rest of Brooklyn, because it's still got a nice yuppie touch to it, a nice capitalist touch to it. Guys, get the ticket at AkashSingh.com. But if you're in New York, go to Spontaneous in Brooklyn. Now let's get back to the show. Love y'all.
So real quick, just post debate. What do you think happens? Do you think that they yanking him out or what?
No. Dude, I don't think so, because I still think he's their best chance to win, which is crazy.
Okay, Mark?
Yeah, they don't pull.
What do you think happens?
I mean, it goes to an election. They do another debate. And hopefully, like, I think the debate format is way better, for one.
Yes.
And I also think that it helped Trump.
Yes.
Like, I do think it helped
explain
Trump.
that.
Because, like, so the first debate, 2016, when he's coming out, the crowd helped Trump immensely. He was, like, getting charged up. He was able to play the crowd better than everyone. And that, I think, is what got him elected. It was the rallies, it was the debates, like, all those quotes. And then 2020, that debate, he tried doing the same thing, but he looked like such a bully. He got, like, high off the crowd's energies and then started, like, pummeling Biden. Everyone was like, yo, what's wrong with this guy? Why? He's like out of control. He's a loose cannon. And then this time, no audience. It was just the people. And then it was just him. He was very calm. I feel like he was like very controlled. Biden was losing the time limit all the time. And then Trump, I thought, looked way better, partially because of that reason.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think also that the time limit actually helps Trump.
Yeah.
Like,
Keeps
because
it short. He'll run the
keeps
light.
him short.
Trump will run the light.
And if you're the Dems, if you're Biden, you want him running the light, because once he gets through the thing that he's memorized to say and he starts freestyling, that's when we like it.
That's the crazy.
That's when he starts cooking. Like, once the hands get out there, once his hands do this, he forgot everything he had to say. Do you know what I mean?
Talking points gone.
Once the hands are moving, I'm sitting there, I'm perched up in my seat. I'm like, oh, he's about to cook right now. Let's fucking go. Yeah. But they chop him off at the minute, so he doesn't have a lot of hands time. Whereas, you know, Biden, maybe it would have been a little bit helpful. I would let that guy run. If I'm Biden, I would just let him run.
Yeah. Also, you can't give Biden numbers. Stop giving him numbers.
Yeah,
Every number is a fumble.
Yeah,
you can't get past it.
Yeah, he just
keep
can't
it
do
vague.
Yeah.
Like your memory.
I do want them to bring back they used to have the little ticketer thing that showed like it was kind of like a fact checker live.
Yeah,
and they had that last time, and I do think they should bring it back because it was so ridiculous. And it has to be a little truthful, because why would you vote for somebody that every single word out of his mouth is a lie? It's like you're either voting for brain dead or voting for a lie.
I'm falling for every single narrative. I fell for the narrative that Biden said everything that was true that whole night. He didn't say one single lie. Then I go on Twitter and then people are listing all the lies. I fell for the narrative that Trump lied about every single thing. And then I go on Twitter and I'm like, oh shit, he did say something truthful in these moments. So I'm falling for every narrative left and right. I hate information right now. I'm almost at the point where I'm like, if you say something, I believe it. So you better say more interesting lies than that motherfucker, because he got me with his lies.
But I'm like, I wonder if it's always been that way. I want to see a fact check on like a debate from the 60s.
That's the thing Charlemagne always quotes. Nobody believes the truth when the lie is more interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's always been that way. I just expect politicians to lie. So
they used to have the fact checker during the debates. I used to like that.
Bro, did you see the clip of Reagan during his debate acknowledge his age?
No.
This was fire. The guy asking the questions asks him, how do you feel about, the sentiment that you're maybe too old or your age or something like that? I don't want to butcher it. Maybe you bring it up. But he essentially says something to the extent of, he goes, I want to win this fair and square. I don't want to have discussions in this debate about my opponent's youth and inexperience. Like he flips the age thing on to the point where the guy that he's going up against starts laughing.
Yeah.
And he even like looks over and he's kind of like, he's like, oh, that guy's likable. And I looked at that guy laugh at his opponent.
Sorry.
I look and I go, oh, you're toast.
Yeah.
You are fucking toast. Like he charmed his opponent.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have this version of like Reagan, Reaganomics or whatever like that. I think the Democrats have really kind of, maybe for good reasons or bad reasons, I don't really know. But you grow up in like a Democrat city where like, oh, Reaganomics was horrible and this was disgusting and this, and it was him that gave crack to the hood and all this other stuff. And I had this idea of him as this like horrible person that just like destroyed urban communities and destroyed the economy. But every time I see this guy talking to podium, I'm like, is this the best president ever?
He was quick on his feet.
Incredibly
so quick.
Incredibly charming.
That one.
The assassination attempt?
If someone tries to kill him, he survives, and then at a speech, all of a sudden a balloon pops, and he stops the speech, goes, miss me, and then keeps going.
I mean, he's their Clinton. Like, just the charm. And just, he flipped entire states, I think.
The Republicans have painted Clinton in a way.
Yeah.
In the same way that the Democrats have painted Reagan in a way. But he probably really satisfied the things that they wanted emotionally, while at the same time was incredibly charming. I mean, he charms the guy that he's going up against to the point where he's looking over and laughing, and he doesn't even realize he just drowned his opponent.
Yeah.
Before it even started.
Yeah.
That guy wants to vote for Reagan.
Yeah. And everybody seeing it is like, oh, that guy's, how am I going to vote for the guy that laughed at the other guy? No, I'm voting for the guy that got the laugh.
My opponent's youth and inexperience.
Wow. What a fucking dude. He was war ready.
Yeah,
yo, speaking of age.
I'm not going to attack his age. And then I'm just going to attack his age.
Barring him up.
Speaking of elders, Bill Clinton, I was listening to some things earlier. Bill Clinton right now is younger than Trump and Biden. And he was president 30 years ago.
Well, and
Ruby Bridges, Board versus Brown to education or whatever, younger than both of them. Like, considerably.
And Clinton looks like shit, bro. I don't know if you've seen him.
Yes.
Like, if you think Biden is a fucking scarecrow, then you got to look at Clinton, dude. There's no life left in his body. He had like 4 heart attacks. He's skinny as hell. Yeah. It's a real shame what being married to Hillary Clinton for that long. And he was cheating on her. Imagine he was faithful. That motherfucker would have died at 60 years old.
Been dead.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have got the second term.
And Hillary looks good, actually. Like, she's literally sucking the life out of that man. Yeah. It's a real damn shame. Anyway, so
no, there's a movie about Hocus Pocus. Witches can do that. They can suck the youth out of other people. It's like a thing.
Life bags are keeping her healthy.
Can I ask y'all a question? I mean, God damn. Yeah. Oh. Can I ask y'all a question real quick before you do that? There's this crazy news story that an adult that talks to children all day on stream turned out to maybe be a pedophile. Can you guys believe Guys, can you fucking believe that the adult that talks to children on stream for 8 hours to 12 hours a day and has dedicated their life to playing video games might be into kids? Guys.
Allegedly.
I mean, allegedly. but I'm just saying, like, did anybody see this coming? Like, I couldn't.
I'm shocked.
Wow.
I just can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Like, who? Whoa. What?
What's his name, this guy?
I think you're talking about Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah. He's a doctor.
Do you know? Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah,
Do you know the whole story?
Pediatrician?
I know a lot of it.
I've never seen someone handle a pedophilia accusation more confidently.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
He leaned in.
Yeah. To the point that people are like, I don't think he did it.
He goes, I don't apologize for shit. Maybe. We start.
Can y'all give me a breakdown? Because up until this story happened, I had no idea who this guy was.
I'd never heard of him.
So he's a popular
OG streamer, apparently.
Yeah, he's like a Twitch streamer, former Twitch streamer, current YouTube streamer. For the record, I don't consume his content. I'm not like the most privy. I just researched this.
Why, you guys have too much overlap in your interests?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't need to study game film. You know what I mean? But so basically, he's a really popular streamer, right? He was on Twitch for the longest time. I don't know when exactly he started. Right now, he's 42 years old. Okay, he created this character called Dr. Disrespect. He's like 6'8". He can dunk. He like talks shit on stream, and he has a huge audience, huge fan base. People love him. And so for years, he was doing his thing on Twitch. There was no problem. And then 2017, he comes on not as the character, but as himself. And kind of is like on stream, and he's kind of sad, and he's talking about how he apologizes to his wife and family for being unfaithful. So that's all that came out in 2017. And then the whole audience was like, we don't care. We're 15. Who gives a shit? Yeah. So then fast forward 2020, he basically gets taken off of Twitch. He gets banned. Okay. He can't be on Twitch anymore. Apparently, the gaming space was undergoing like a version of Me Too. So he's banned on Twitch, and he signed an exclusivity deal with Twitch that had not expired. So then he basically settled with Twitch, and Twitch paid him out. All right. So then that's 2022. He immediately goes to YouTube and starts going right on YouTube. Basically, fast forward to 2024, an ex-Twitch employee tweets out that
it's crazy they would have to pay him.
Yeah.
Like, you think there'd be a clause in a contract?
Yeah, a morality clause.
Yeah. You start talking to a little kid that they don't have to pay. He got paid to talk to an underage girl. That's remarkable.
Yeah, it really is crazy.
So 2024, ex-Twitch employee comes out and says he had been banned because he had been caught messaging a minor on the DM service of Twitch known as Whisper.
Which I don't think he knew was like, they can monitor.
I'm sure he messaged minors all the time because it's kids watching the show. It's the inappropriate nature of how he messaged her, allegedly.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you're the guy from Blue's Clues and you got a bunch of kids sending you fucking letters every single week and you write them back and say, hey, thanks for watching the show.
Stay in school,
et cetera. That's totally fine. When you're engaging in inappropriate DMs with an underage girl, now you get paid millions of dollars by Twitch. That's what happens.
So apparently, according to the correspondence, he had planned to meet with her at TwitchCon, and then according to his own tweet vindicating himself, he claimed that the messages got a little inappropriate in nature or something to that effect. Again, I'm not an expert on the story, and it is kind of serious, so I don't know.
I think there's no such thing as a little inappropriate with an underage girl.
Yeah.
Right? It's just either inappropriate or not.
Yeah.
Not a little.
Just as a general rule, don't meet up with minors.
Yeah.
Unless there's a tweet or a text being like, hey, your parents are going to be there. You and your parents can come just to get out ahead of any. I'm not meeting you alone.
Just don't even talk to them.
That's your fan base.
Thanks for support.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Exactly.
Generic,
thumbs up. You stay in school. All the other pleasantries. But
So this happened apparently in 2017, and people speculate that was the reason for his apology back then. He, according to his tweet, these were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. He claimed he had no intentions of meeting this person and then edited his Twitter statement to remove the mention of the minor, but then re-edited it back in once people were like, wait a second, did you just cut out the fact that it was a minor that you confirmed it? And he was like, all right, I put it back in. So it seems like he kind of bungled his little, his apology here. And then he denied being a pedophile, which is a good move. And then YouTube demonetized his account. And then he got dropped from a bunch of stuff. He was doing collabs with a ton of different companies. He was working with the 49ers. He was doing a video game that he was going to release with the studio. They dropped him. And apparently the thing got sent to the child exploitation service of the United States. And they, I guess, saw it, but then didn't investigate. I don't know exactly what the facts are with that.
Whoa.
So that is what currently happened as of last week, as far as I understand it. But there's more to come. So. Question is, why didn't Twitch do something about this in 2017 when they found out about it?
They paid him lots of money.
They did a lot.
But they didn't do that until 2020. This happened in 2017. So the question is, did Twitch know about it? And then if they did, why did they keep him on for 3 years knowing that he had solicited a minor, allegedly? Or did Twitch not know about it, in which case they need to do a better job of like surveying their servers and knowing what people are saying to their audience. So that's the one question that people are like, okay, that's pretty weird. Second question, now people are pointing at the duplicity of Twitch, that they're going after this guy, rightfully so, right? If what he did is true, that's fucked up.
What he did, yeah.
But then you have these like bathtub streamers. So like on Twitch, you'll have like these girls that are full grown women that are basically trying to like soft core cam their way into like getting OnlyFans people. And they will like stream in a bathtub, or they'll stream like with everything, just their tits cut off.
So they're covered.
And the age to sign up for Twitch is 13. So basically everyone's like, well, wait a second. What he did is fucked up, but what these girls are doing, where they're basically making sexualized content for people 13 and up.
Wow,
that's also fucked up. So what is what are you gonna do about that?
Yo, is writing sexualized content for kids weird too?
I would say so. If you're doing erotica for children,
like Euphoria is erotica for children.
I don't know if that show's for children.
No. Meaning like
for them to do.
To them to do. Like they're writing it. Adults are playing the children.
Oh yeah.
Like it is a kind of. I understand you're trying to capture this like age of innocence, and there's so much happening when you're hormonally when a kid. There's discovery, etc. And we're all probably interested in this time in our lives, right? But you do have to spend a lot of time thinking about kids fucking. When you're writing the show, right? Like it is an odd thing. Like I remember when we were younger, we're watching like Beverly Hills 90210, and there's like sex scenes and shit for teenagers.
Yeah,
and we were young, so it made sense.
Didn't think anything of it.
But there's adult producers that
write the scenes and direct the scenes.
Can you moan louder? Moan like a teenager would moan louder. Like right? It is.
Yeah.
What is the...
That is a little odd.
It's peculiar.
It is very...
It's not illegal because they're adults playing them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're imagining... Also, as an actor, you're imagining hooking up with a teenager.
Yo, stop making Euphoria weird, because I like that show.
It's
making
weird.
It weird, bro.
Why are we watching
Let's go back to
We're believing they're in high school.
Whatever the fuck this fuckboy
is there weird shit in like Game of Thrones? Probably.
No.
Yeah.
No.
The
main. No.
The dude.
No.
Yeah, there is.
That's fantasy. That's fantasy. The rules don't apply,
Yeah,
bro.
it is fantasy, I think. Yeah.
Who's fantasy? There's dragons.
His niece's fucking. She was like a little girl.
Yeah, Rhaenyra was like a teen the first time her uncle took her out. That's also...
Y'all remembered that part? Y'all remember? I forgot about that immediately. It's not the things I focus on. I focus on the dragons.
Dragon what?
Nah, they reminded us of it this episode.
But yeah, isn't there like a... I don't know how to articulate what I'm saying.
No, I
You
get
articulated it.
is,
but then
you
it really
feel
fell apart with that Game of Thrones thing. That
Yeah, but it's fantasy. Like it doesn't count.
Yeah. No,
Okay?
it is creepy to have to write sexual lines for children, even if they're not children. Actually, even if the actors are adults, I don't like it.
What if it's based on a true story?
It doesn't matter.
It makes it worse?
Yeah.
No, because if I wrote a story about me fucking when I was 17,
That's way worse.
Consensually 17-year-old person,
He
then
wasn't getting no pussy, bro.
If it's autobiographical.
It'd be fantasy again.
No, this is a good point. When I tell y'all about the first time I fucked or when I got head when I was younger, y'all are pedophiles.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Wait,
I don't
Because it
enjoy
happened to
those
me.
stories.
But y'all are thinking about me getting head as a teenager.
I don't enjoy those stories, first of all. Second of
Stop
all, I
it.
only
You
think
love
about
those.
you getting head as an adult.
You do?
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. It was way different back then. Yeah, I was so bad at it when I was younger. So bad at getting head. But yeah, it is.
I wouldn't want to do it, but I don't know if it should be illegal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want to write
I don't
it.
think anything illegal is happening here, but it does start to feel odd.
Yeah, I think in their mind, they're capturing a reality.
Yeah.
And it's a reality maybe they think adults should be privy to. Because I don't think I knew, and I don't know how accurate the show is, but when I'm watching the show, my kids are wilding.
But I think that's what they're going. They're going for high drama, and there's no higher drama than like the innocence of a child being, taken advantage of or something like that. Like if the show takes place in college, you're like, oh, they're fucking. That's not that bad.
Yeah.
But when the show takes place in high school and the trans girl is getting fucking rinsed out by the other person's
by the
dad in a hotel room, you're like, oh my God, this is wrong. So they know what they're doing is wrong and salacious.
The intention matters, though. If you're just trying to tell a story and this is a necessary part to tell that story, that's different than these cam girls who are clearly trying to sell sex without selling sex. So it's like the intention matters.
Yeah.
And like they're feeding you into an OnlyFans so they can monetize it. Euphoria is the show in and of itself. There's
Like
no
nobody's
All right.
putting on Euphoria to jerk off and shit like that.
Well,
I don't think.
Jacob Elord is pretty hot, dude.
What about anime?
but what about it?
Nobody jerks off to anime.
Yo, come on, son.
No, stop.
Stop you.
Stop. Don't
No,
make,
I'm just saying, like,
don't
they
make anime
sexualize the
weird.
bitches in anime, right?
Yeah.
And it's kids watching anime. So
But
wouldn't
they
that
never,
be the same thing?
They're never fucking in it. They just make them have
But
big
they never
tits and
fuck on
shit like-
Amazon. They never fuck on Twitch. Them girls in the bathtub don't fuck on Twitch. So I'm
But
trying
they're
to say.
trying to set up the pipeline to sign up for the OnlyFans.
Oh, you're saying they also have OnlyFans?
Yeah, it's a
luring them.
pipeline.
Got it.
The whole point is to get you to sign up to the OnlyFans so I can monetize my tits.
No, I got you.
And I think that's the case. I got to think of specific instances if there's Twitch streamers that are genuinely going straight from there to OnlyFans.
Bro, that's the thing. Like, running a legit business is exhausting.
Yeah.
Because you always got these annoying motherfuckers. Like, you're the person who's a CEO of Twitch, and you're like, hey, we got this great platform. People can play video games. They can talk to their friends. It's going to be awesome,
We got
right?
Sketch. We can make Sketch happen. Like, this
Yeah,
is great.
it's going to be great. It's going to be so cool. And you're going to see like regular dudes that are playing video games with professional athletes, and the whole world's going to come together, and it's going to be this great thing. You share the passion. And then these pierced nipple bitches are in their bathtubs trying to draw 10-year-olds over to fucking OnlyFans. And you have to come like make a rule. But whatever rule you make, you're going to look like a hypocrite because it's going to stop your Twitch users from doing something else. Ugh, it's exhausting.
Yeah. But if Twitch is also owned by Amazon, so you got to just be on the safe side of everything.
And that's the other thing, because like they're not making money on Twitch.
Yeah.
They're making money from Amazon. So you're a $1 trillion company, and now you got to worry about your brand being tarnished by these bathtub bitches.
Yeah. So you would think a brand like that would just play it overly safe. Because this is a loss leader for us. We're just trying to get market share, getting this thing, whatever it is. Yeah. But I don't want my main business to take a hit off of this.
Yeah.
So we're going to be overly safe. And if that costs us some users, who cares? We need Amazon Web Services to be killing it. We need Amazon, the website, to be killing it. This Twitch thing is 5th on our list of income streams.
Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this. Because he's like, look, Twitch paid me out. They didn't think it was that egregious. Like, YouTube is cool with it, They got sent to this exploitation board for the government. They didn't investigate it. So it's not that big a deal.
So I think come out and say exactly what it was.
I think that's his position, but then everyone's kind of saying that, like, yo, just release the messages.
Yo, release that shit, because we're assuming the worst. Anytime pedophilia gets thrown around, we're assuming the worst. And if you say inappropriate messages, we're deeming what we think are inappropriate messages.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe this is just enough room for interpretation that he's like, people might think XYZ, whether he intended to or not. I don't know.
Yo, our brains are always going to go to the worst possible scenario.
Of course. But in 2017, if he said, "Oh, I was being unfaithful," then that means there was an encounter.
That's also true. That's also true.
There's an encounter somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not being like emotionally unfaithful.
Yeah. And if you are with a kid, that's just as fuck.
Well, apparently there's no proof of an encounter thus far.
Sure. But still, like, if he has to address that and his wife is upset about it, then there has to be something of a sexual nature.
Maybe that's just what he said, so he didn't have to say the real reason.
That's
that's
not
crazy.
worse.
He says nothing illegal happened, no pictures were shared, no crimes were committed, even though I never met the individual. I went through lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch. The case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me.
Okay.
But that doesn't say I didn't do anything inappropriate at all.
Who cares? We got to talk about something else. It's too weird.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break real quick because I got to tell you about the flavored air category that is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking. It is a whole new movement towards better health, and it's led by the sponsors of this little clip right here, Fume. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device, and flavored air is not vaping. If vaping was like a sugar-filled soda, Fume cores would be closer to like an herbal tea. They got a bunch of delicious flavors to choose from, and with flavored air, you can satisfy the oral fixation. It's completely natural. It's just herbs, and you can use it anywhere. And look, it's got a nice little wooden solid feel. Right? Also, little clicking mechanism to help you if you're anxious. I just like playing with the clicks. They got a ton of flavors. I would suggest trying vanilla. You know what I mean? It's sweet. What do you got to lose? Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. So for a limited time, use our code FLAGRANT, and you get a free gift with your Journey Pack. All you got to do is head to tryfume.com. That is TRYFUM.com. and use the code FLAGRANT, and you'll get a free gift with your purchase. Now let's get back to our show. All right, guys, we got to take a break really quick because we got to talk about parenting. I'm talking to the parents. You obviously want to be the best parent you can be, but you don't want to be the parent without life insurance. And luckily, you can get affordable life insurance online in minutes. No medical exams. Just answer a few health questions for a quote and apply for coverage at ethoslife.com/flagrant. Guys, life insurance is one of the most important things you can do for your kids because you got to plan for all possible scenarios. I'm not trying to put anything negative out there, so that's all I'm going to say. But you should know that with Ethos, life insurance policies start as low as $10 a month. It's customizable coverage that fits your needs. You can get everything done quickly online. No complicated forms, no doctor's appointments, no waiting for results. Just answer some health questions online and get covered instantly. So protect your family today. Get up to $2 million in term life coverage in 10 minutes with Ethos. Again, just answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethoslife.com/flagrant. That is ETHOS life.com/flagrant. Now let's get back to the show.
There's something that I really want to talk to you guys about, and it is specific. Is this Bronny story?
Yeah.
Right. And I really want to get you guys' takes on it because there's something that's happening in media that I thought was fascinating. So Bronny gets drafted in the second round. He goes to the Lakers. I think Rich Paul was telling teams not to draft him, and that if they did draft him, that he would go play in Australia. So they basically set the situation up for him to go play for the Lakers with LeBron. And almost immediately, I saw these big media figures coming out, and instead of being critical of the fact that this happened, exposing other nepotism in sports.
Yeah.
Coming to like the defense of Bronny and LeBron and the Lakers.
Yeah.
They talk about nepotism in the back office.
Yep.
They talk about nepotism on other teams.
Yep.
I think Giannis's brother plays with the Bucks.
Yep.
But it's really interesting to me. Like, it shows, in my opinion, the power of LeBron.
Yes.
Because the easiest story, the most salacious story, is to go at this situation and completely undercut the fact that they drafted him.
Yeah.
And they are defending the decision.
Yeah.
And making good arguments. I mean, nepotism is rife all over the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many coaches whose dad were coaches.
Everywhere.
The GM, the old,
If the second you have anything, like I have a daughter, I want to give her fucking everything. I can't wait to nep it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to nep it. So it is, I understand why it's frustrating if you don't have kin.
Yeah.
Or I understand why it's frustrating if your parents didn't have something to give you, because you're like, whoa, look at that unfair advantage that person has. 100%. But you can't blame a parent for wanting to provide for their kid.
Dude, I should have looked this up. Of the Mavericks, the old GM of the Mavericks, Donnie Nelson, his dad was Don Nelson, the head coach of the Mavericks. What a fucking surprise that happened.
I mean, this is all over the coaching positions of the league.
But I should have looked this up. But is part of the definition of nepotism like a person who doesn't deserve it?
No, it's related. Just related.
Oh, so then...
I mean, the subtext is they don't deserve it.
I mean,
yeah, but
Bronny doesn't deserve it.
But if it's not part of the definition, then we should encourage nepotism.
But no, I mean,
in all industries.
If you earned it, like, for example, nobody said Klay Thompson is a
Nepo baby.
Is a Nepo baby.
His dad was in the league. Michael Thompson.
No one says Steph Curry is a Nepo baby.
Yeah.
Right? Like, their parents were both in the league. Right, there are plenty of people who have, relatives
Even
that are
Seth
in the league.
Curry is a contributor, a valuable contributor on teams.
Yeah, so Bronny might have a successful NBA career. I don't know. What he showed so far is that there's no reason for him to get drafted. Even in his draft workouts, they were going through him. They were like, he kind of shot shitty. And it's like his only thing is to be 3-and-D, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have the ball handling skills and passing skills to really be a point guard. He's an undersized 2, and he wasn't even shooting the ball that well. So he didn't really exemplify somebody you would want to draft even in the second round, but he got drafted. Who cares? So what? But let's not make up the fact that there was a little help here.
I think it proves that no one ever really cared about nepotism. You know what I mean? Like,
go
like when the whole thing came out, like when the whole, like that Nepo baby article first dropped, like what, 2017, 2018 or whatever?
Yeah.
Like everyone was pissed. Like, oh, nepotism's everywhere, da-da-da. I don't think anyone ever really cared. I think it just wasn't a thing that benefited them or their community. So people were like, oh, this is fucked up.
Yeah, it's white privilege.
Yeah.
It's the same argument.
That's
it's
why no one really cared sometimes, but other people really.
But now that everyone could benefit from nepotism, or now that more people can benefit from nepotism, I think everyone's gonna be like, a little nepotism's fine.
I've said this
That's my
about.
feeling.
I've said this about white privilege in Hollywood or whatever. It is the perfect, or white privilege in any industry. It is the perfect argument if you're not a white person to give yourself more opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, hey, these white people are just hiring white people and that's fucked up and that's indicative of racism. I'm not white, so that'd be really awesome if you hire me. I have to find a competitive advantage. I don't have the nepotism. They have the nepotism, or they have the whiteness, or whatever the fuck it is. So I have to make that look bad. I have to make that look radioactive so I get opportunity.
I get what you're saying.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But and not to switch topics, but the reason why I support nepotism now, because I'm like, this is a motivation for you to achieve something where you can actually pass it down to your kid. Yeah. So it's like, I think everybody should be.
People who are anti-nepotism would argue that that lane is blocked because of nepotism. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, you can always make your own lane.
And then to the...
Pull yourself up by your bootstrap. That's what I'm talking about. We converted him.
Let's go.
Trump won.
He liked the debate.
Let's go.
That's what happened. He was like, oh, he's spinning.
I like what you're talking about. Keep going. Keep going.
I gotta think of this more.
You should have let him try out.
Yeah.
That's racist.
But I'm also, so to me, I didn't like the white casting shit when minorities did it, because once we started getting all the roles, then instead of being like, hey guys, we just wanted to be fair, all of a sudden they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, white man, are you not getting the roles? And it's like, oh, you didn't want fairness, you just wanted to be the white man.
Yeah.
That drives me crazy. And I will say the Nepo baby argument is just, it's just like jujitsu or whatever. Y'all got nepotism. How do I flip this? It's your advantage. How do I flip it to make it my advantage and your disadvantage? Yeah. Which, straight up argument, that's a fucking great way to do it. Yeah. That's a great way to flip the advantage, and that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. I don't subscribe to that idea largely, but like, I also think with Bronny, we're all so excited. First of all, it's a few things. One, like you said, media's on his side because they can't lose LeBron. Because Jordan proved if you fuck with us, we could just not give your publication any love, and ESPN needs LeBron. Two, so media's on his side. Two, I think we all just want to see a father and son play in the same crowd. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
That outweighs any nepotism we feel. And it's the second round. The Mavs drafted an Indian Punjabi guy that 6 years ago that I knew would never play in the league. And Mark Cuban was like, we just made 1 billion fans. Yeah. Fire. I love that. It's late in the second round. Who gives a fuck? So if he went number 9, we'd have a problem with it.
So it's not like the Lakers aren't going to sell out every game. They are, because LeBron's on the team. Yeah. But if you look at it as a financial decision, it's not nepotism.
Correct.
If I'm Bronny, that's what I would say. I go, guys, this is a financial decision. Like, there are people that really want to see us playing the game together. It's going to get so many clips, even if it's for 30 seconds. Yeah. It's going to blow things up. When we go to, it's not only just when we go to other cities they're going to sell out, because my dad is going to do that, but around the world, if you're interested in the game, you're going to want to see this. So they're probably going to pay me the league minimum for a second round rookie, and they're going to make 20 million off of that. This is a business decision. I would say that, and then you shut everybody up about skill.
Yeah. Then that just steps on all your hard work. It's like, I work so hard to get to the league, and the only reason why I'm getting signed just because it's going to sell some more tickets.
But people know what the hard work did, right? Like 4 points and like 3 assists and like 1 rebound. Like, we understand the merit, and the merit isn't sufficient. So we're never going to look at you as if you're here for merit until you start balling in the league. If you start balling your ass off in the league, we shut the fuck up.
It could happen.
It absolutely could happen. And he's going to get touches, because please believe, if you want to be on Braun's good side, if Bronny comes in the game, you're going to feed him the ball.
Yeah. Don't you think that fucks with his psyche a little bit? That he's like, damn, I wasn't good enough to actually make it to the league.
Bro, he's dealt with that his whole life. His entire life.
James Jr.
There is nobody that is more comfortable.
Great point.
Exactly. There's nobody more comfortable thinking that people are doing things for him just because of his dad than LeBron James Jr.
You got a point.
So I think he's almost like built a callousness to it, in terms of like, I imagine he doesn't resent it. He goes, this is the world I live in. I accept it, and I got to do my best to go out there and hoop. It's probably why hoops is so nice to him, because at the end of the day, his dad can't shoot the ball for him. He got to go out there and ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But doesn't this happen? Not exactly the same, but similar, where like a guy will be close to breaking the all-time scoring record or some type of crazy record, and people won't play D as hard if it's like a regular season game, right?
They said that about home run records.
Right.
Michael Strahan's sack record in the NFL, Brett Favre just like gave up the last sack.
That's what they say. And there's kind of like a gentlemanness to it, where it's like, look, this doesn't really matter. It's good for the game for you to get this thing. After you make the point or the sack, the game stops and they throw fucking confetti and shit, because it's just kind of good for the pageantry of the game. And I kind of feel like it's the same thing, where like it's good for the game as a whole to see the greatest of all time, arguably the greatest, with his son playing for a season.
It's awesome.
It's amazing.
I'm a Laker hater, but now they got a coach that I love, and they got a father-son duo playing. Like, I'm so excited to watch a Laker game, and I don't think they're going to contend for anything. Not this year, but I'm excited to watch it.
And I think it's awesome for everyone except people who are better than him in college that they're looking at, yo, he took my spot.
But it's one spot on 30 teams.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
if
no,
you
I know
were
what
one
you
of
mean.
those people, you
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, of
I
course.
think there was some post and it was about like another guy that was on USC.
Yeah.
You saw that when he dropped like 14 a game and he didn't get drafted. And that is what it is. Yeah. Maybe he'll go play in Europe somewhere. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll coach. Who knows what he's going to do with his life? But this is the nature of things,
But
guys.
Bronny scoring 5 a game didn't impact him scoring 14 a game.
And
you know what I mean?
100%.
Like he could have scored 30 a game.
100%.
Like,
And also the thing I would say is like, before we criticize this situation, I want everybody to think about how they got every job in their life, how they got every apartment in their life, how they got every bottle service at a club in their life. Like nepotism or cronyism is the other term when you're not related.
Cronyism is the term.
Has
Okay, I didn't know that.
benefited you too. Everybody gets everything because of the people they know.
yeah.
That is the nature.
Get
of
better
things.
cronies, bro. That's just fine.
Real talk. If you don't got shit, your cronies suck.
Chris Rock said that about Bill Clinton writing like a letter of recommendation for Monica Lewinsky. He said something like, that's his friend. How many of you guys got a job because your friend recommended you? And I remember I'm 15 or 16 or whatever and watching. I'm like, yeah, that's a great point. Even I knew that back then. My first job was a friend. Target. That's how I got it.
I actually hope Bronny balls out.
I would love it.
Died
Got
again.
it? Yeah, I hope Bronny balls out, dude. I would love it.
That'd be sick.
And if anybody could bring the best out of him, it's his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And nepotism's not always bad. I mean, fucking Bollywood is like the
That's where the
most
Nepo baby thing that we've been talking about for decades.
It's awesome.
All nepotism. Now it's shifting, but back when I was growing up, it's all nepotism.
Yeah.
Do you think LeBron gets the senior on the back of his jersey?
Fuck yeah, that's
Oh,
got to be
that's it.
so cool.
That
I
would
mean,
be
if
so
they just
sick.
want to sell more jerseys, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, switch it up.
James Senior, he's old as hell. That's so
Braun's
sick.
number is 9, right?
6.
6 and 9 is
Yeah,
a
that's a little
Bronny's
weird,
9,
That
bro.
shit is
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
69 with your dad, bro.
Like,
I saw that
they
tweet. That
thought
shit.
out everything but that.
No,
Bronny
that's
6,
nah,
Bronny
it's
9.
crazy.
You sell them together, bro. That shit is awesome.
Nah, they got to do junior and senior
would be
because
so sick.
parents would do that.
Yes.
Like if you got a kid,
that's
you're going to get the dad jersey and then the son
that's
jersey.
awesome.
Yeah, this is.
Dude,
60,
what a
69
coup
with your
for the
family,
league.
bro.
Yeah.
You're fired.
You got the Celtics winning championships, and the Lakers aren't. Again, I think Redick will make them really good, but not this year. But they're not good. But you got fucking father-son playing the greatest of all time, maybe with
Nah,
his son.
this is gonna be
like
good.
what a time for the league.
Yeah.
The 2 anchor franchises, PR through the roof.
Yeah, it's fire.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. This is the reaction to it. I was shocked, man.
I think honestly, LeBron owes Michael Jordan a thank you for this. Because these ESPN, and remember when Sports Illustrated I was referencing, Michael Jordan plays baseball. Sports Illustrated writes an article, the cover says, "Bag it, Michael," basically insulting him for playing baseball. Michael Jordan
Yes,
never talks to Sports
I
Illustrated again.
understand. Yeah.
ESPN is looking at this like, do we want to insult LeBron for this, or do we want LeBron to like us?
Yo,
And then George Karl, I think his son played. So like, there's nepotism all over the league. Now we got to call it out everywhere. Let's just support this, and we're good. We keep LeBron. We don't piss off other execs that we got to call out later. We're good.
I'm going to throw out an allegedly on this one because I have no proof to back it up.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Feelings.
Juicy.
Feelings.
So I'm sure you guys have seen, there was an article that came out talking about how like Jordan's stats were inflated.
Oh.
Did you see that?
I haven't read the article, but I've heard about it.
So there's a few articles that came out talking about Jordan's stats were inflated. There's like lots of content online talking about how like, oh, Jordan really wasn't that nice. They're like people reviewing old Jordan clips and like saying, oh, look, there was no defense back in the day, yada, yada,
Yeah.
yada. But what they did is they reviewed footage and then compared them to the stats that the Chicago Bulls had delivered to the NBA.
Yeah.
And they found a discrepancy. Oh, there was less rebounds, less assists, et cetera.
Especially the year he won Defensive Player of the Year, they would
Yes.
just award him steals that he didn't
That
make.
he didn't get. Now,
Oh, shit.
one, the reaction is, oh shit.
Yeah.
2, and this is what I heard, and this could be absolute bullocks. I heard Braun's team is behind that.
I love that. I love that.
Oh,
I love that.
behind outing it. Oh, okay.
I love that because what did Jordan do? As soon as LeBron won with the Cavs, he said, "Let's drop this last dance shit."
Yeah.
Like if y'all, hey, look, go.
Oh, they're
go.
competing.
Oh, yeah.
The
Go.
fact that LeBron did the movie probably drove Jordan fucking
Oh
crazy.
my
bro.
god,
That's funny.
So
Jordan
so
is a dog.
He is.
Competing 30 years out of the league.
he
But
never
LeBron
stops.
got that dog in him too, dude.
He's still
doing
in
this.
it though. He's still in it, so it makes sense. It's like, yeah, he's got a legacy to protect, or he's got a legacy to make. Like Jordan's just doing it for like just protection.
But the fact
right?
that he's trying to, no, I'm not saying he is, but allegedly is behind tarnishing Jordan's accomplishments that he knows that he won't beat so that he can have the better numbers. Like if we stop believing in Jordan's numbers, now you can make the argument that maybe LeBron is the greatest of all time.
You can.
Yeah, but then it's like Jordan's rings aren't padded.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It's like,
And here's the other thing.
100%.
I said this years ago when LeBron, I think, went to LA, and now that he's staying in LA, and I think Reddick's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. I love that he's playing with the Sun. But the fact that he's not chasing the best team, and he's like, well, I'm just going to retire in this beautiful sunny place. I get it, but I do think Jordan would never have done that. Like, LeBron knows they don't got a team to win the ring.
Jordan would have benched his kid immediately.
Jordan ain't doing that.
He did it already.
But Jordan would have gone to a team like, I don't know, maybe the Sixers, where there's an MVP candidate right there, or whatever. Dude, the Nuggets wanted him 3 years ago. Or whenever he went to the Lakers. Can you imagine LeBron and Jokic? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. To me, that would have been the Jordan move.
I do think back in the day there was a bit more loyalty to organization.
Yeah, no, but he would have gone to the best team. LeBron went to the best location.
So do you think he would have went to the best team, or do you think that his competitive instinct would have been like, I'm not going to just join a good team. I'm going to beat that team.
He was like, he needed Phil, he needed Scotty, he went and got Rodman. I need the best support. I'm going to be the alpha, but we're going to have a great team. And he made it very clear, if Scotty's gone, if Phil is gone, I'm not coming back.
I just don't see Jordan joining a super team. I can see him make one, but I don't think he'd be like, oh, they're the best team? I'll just go and be on that.
I think he'd go to the best team where he's still the best player. Does that make sense? He's still the alpha. He's not going to go to...
always going to be the best.
Exactly. So I think he's going to be like, all right, well, let's go to the best supporting cast. I'm not going to go to this team where they don't have one.
I don't think... You get what I'm saying, right?
I get what you're saying, but I mean, again...
His ego wouldn't allow him to admit that there's another team better.
I think he would go to a better situation than the Lakers.
I mean, he went to the Wizards.
Yeah, but that's because he owned them. That's because he owns them, and he needed, you know what I mean? He couldn't lose at owning a team.
Yeah.
So let me just get the fuck out on the court. If he didn't own the Wizards, he don't play on the Wizards.
Yeah. And then after losing, he was like, I need to get out of this team.
Yes, 1,000%.
There's nothing that can make this team win.
1,000%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... there's some cool drama going on in the NBA. Like, the NBA is cooking right now in the offseason.
Yeah.
Like, this draft specifically, there's this story. I don't know if you guys are reading it.
Utah story?
Did you read about it?
I heard about it on...
So that's a
Posh.
No?
Yeah, I heard. Shouts to Jake and Dan, my boys that we helped break non-compete clauses all over the country.
So do you want to break it down a little bit then?
So you can fill in any gaps that I have, but there is a player who played for Duke. Well, what's his name again?
Filipowski.
Kyle Filipowski.
Yep.
So there's a podcast with Zach Lowe, who's an NBA savant, knows everything. He has this guy on who's a scout.
Basically, he was getting molested by his babysitter, and then she groomed him, and now she's divided him from his family, and he's going to play for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
That's the quick of it.
Yeah.
Now, apparently he dropped in the drafts because of this. That's
what
why
I'm
it's
saying.
interesting, right? So the girl, I think, is like 7 years older than him. I think she maybe babysat him. They say that she used...
Macron, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it's...
They went to prom together. Now, he's apparently 18 at prom. She's 25, I think, or something like that. But they didn't meet on prom night. They probably were talking when he was 17, 16.
No, I think she babysat
There's a
him.
picture of her as a babysitter with them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like... They're saying that she groomed him, and I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's grooming, but I think she basically saw the meal ticket. Like, she's like, this motherfucker's this 7-foot white boy is going to the NBA.
Yep.
I'm locking this motherfucker down. I got dick sucking skills 7 years advance. He never felt nothing like this. I remember when I was 18 years old, there was this girl who was 30 sucking my dick, and I was like, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, 30-year-old bitches are back.
Yeah, she's been in the league, bro.
She wrote for Cosmopolitan.
Oh, fire.
And I told my friend, I was like, yo, this girl's crazy. He goes, have you ever read Cosmopolitan? And he was like, I was like, nah. He's like, it's all about dick sucking. She better be good. Put your fucking money where your
The
mouth
original
is.
Hawk Tui, bro.
That's the original one. So these girls got skills that these young bucks know nothing about. She came in and apparently used some Mormonism and shit.
Somebody was like, went down the rabbit hole, this 30-second conversation on Zach Lowe. Then the guy's brother makes an account. Filipowski's brother is like, yo, you have no idea how deep this goes. Look up Mormon grooming for a little more information. And that's apparently, I haven't looked it up, that's apparently what it is. She's grooming him, indoctrinating him into Mormonism. Ironically, he gets drafted by the fucking Jazz of all places.
It's not ironic. I mean, he fell far in the draft.
Yeah, but the Jazz like, well, fit right in. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But crazy story.
You don't think the draft the Jazz want the Mormon kid?
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, he's not Mormon yet, is he?
Yeah, I mean, she got him in the Mormon shit.
Crazy story, dude.
That's a good Mormon recruitment tactic.
Yeah.
Like, yo, how do we get players?
Send some honeypot.
Yeah, exactly.
After these little teeny boppers.
They saw Brittany Renner and they're like, oh, we got to get our own little, our little guys.
Can we look up a picture of this girl?
Yeah.
Nah, she's bad. She's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's bad. It's not like he's getting fucked over or anything like that. Like, Shorty's worth it, but it is disgusting. Like, if this happened.
Yeah, if the genders were reversed, this would be crazy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, she.
I mean, yeah, she's
Absolute
a pretty girl for
insanity.
sure,
She
but-
got crazy eyes.
Oh, she's insane. That's an insane girl.
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah. But also, she's babysitting him, right? He's probably 12, but he got crazy meat because he's so tall. So she's looking at it and she's like, yo, this is going to get
you
so
thinking
much
of
bigger.
12-year-old meat
come
right
on,
now,
bro. This
son.
is a
You
House of
did.
Dragon.
You did.
This is a Game of Thrones.
I didn't think 12-year-old meat. I just said it. I said the words. I didn't think about it.
Doctor disrespect.
What the
Yo, y'all was thinking about meat. You're still thinking about it.
Them doctors in the building.
You
right
said
here,
meat.
son.
Yeah, you did say meat.
You said meat,
Well,
bro.
now I
You
said
can't
meat.
That
say
was
a word
wild.
without thinking about it.
That was
When
wild.
I say
Don't
meat,
get this
I'm
off of
thinking
him.
about
Don't get
carne
this off of him.
asadas.
That was
When
wild.
you say meat,
Don't
I'm
get
thinking
this
about
off of him. That was
10-year-old
wild.
dicks.
That was wild.
Nah, you got the mustache already. You just need the wig and the
Al,
glasses.
son, I swear to God, Al, you like boys.
You called it huge. You called
That's
it
smart.
huge.
Bro, you got to go in. You got to go
He
in.
is. He likes boys. He likes boys, yo. I said big for 12, bro.
Why you know frame of reference?
Because I've been 12, dummy.
So you know just yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Schultz.
Wait a minute, you don't know what your dick looked like at 12?
I don't remember, yo. It was 28 years ago.
You don't remember your 12-year-old
I don't remember my 12-year-old dick. I don't think about 12-year-old dick.
You're a fucking bro.
Yo, that's suspect, dude.
Don't get it
This
off of
guy's
me.
a.
Don't get it off of
What do you
you.
mean you don't remember?
Who remembers their dick 28 years ago?
He was a little fatter back then. He couldn't see it. That's
compare
all.
this.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, you remember being a child and playing with your dick.
Yeah. I don't.
Are you really doing this thing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm doing this thing.
What is the thing you're doing?
Trying to make you look like a pedophile. yeah,
But why would I be a pedophile for knowing what my dick looks like?
No, but you
the
call
fact
his
that
dick
you
huge.
don't know what your dick looks like makes me think you like kids. Because you look at so many other dicks, you're like, I got them confused.
I don't remember.
I got
dicks.
no clue what
I don't
mine
even
looks
have
like.
dicks. I don't know.
You would only know one dick. You can't remember one?
No, not 28 years ago. I remember my dick yesterday, today.
What about 10 years ago?
It probably looks similar to what it does now.
Yeah, when did dick stop growing?
Mine got smaller. It grew back. I think mine grew back. I think it went back in. Well, I just got fatter. I had to Google it. I was like, I think I got less hand on my dick.
Oh, really?
Because I think I used to have more hands on my dick, and now I have less. So
Your
I'm
hands might
like,
have
is
got
it
bigger.
possible?
Your hands got
I
bigger.
literally Googled it. Do your dicks get smaller? I asked a doctor. I was like, is it possible your dick gets smaller?
Son.
And the doctor was like,
told the story.
Yeah, I told you. And the doctor was like, nah, you just gained weight. He goes, the last time you heard you were 20 pounds less. And so your stomach is growing out and taking some dick away.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the best motivation for you talk about you have a little dick all the time. Losing weight would make your dick big.
I know.
Oh, Ozempic got him.
Or do you want to keep your dick at 12?
Yeah, I like it at 12, dude. I like it. I like it.
That's what you gotta say. How big's your dick? 12? Just say that.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Okay, so I don't know.
It does get smaller.
It does get smaller, right?
As you get older, buildup of fatty deposits in your arteries reduce blood flow to your penis.
Why does it go to your dick? You should get more fat in your dick. They should figure out a way to do that.
They do.
Fat transfer to your dick.
They do.
Causes the withering of
BDL.
the-
Really?
Yeah.
You get the BDLs.
VDL.
I mean, if women can get a dick sewn on, you don't think that we can get ours a little bigger?
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that crazy?
That's a good point, actually. That is a good point. What is the average size of a penis that a woman gets put on? A
We should be able to,
trans man.
yeah, we should be able to dictate that.
Hey.
Chosen. Didn't even want to say it, but I did.
They should be national average, which I think is like, what is
No, if you get to choose, you're going big.
it? Nah.
No.
But that's great. Yeah, you give him the average. All right, guys, we're going to take a break really quickly because I got to talk to a few of you who might have been wrongfully injured, which sucks. If you are injured by the neglect or malintent of another person, you can check out Morgan & Morgan because that whole thing sucks. Getting injured and it's not your fault sucks. You got to go doctor visits, deal with insurance companies. One thing that's easy One thing that doesn't suck, one thing that's not nearly as hard as the rest of that is hiring Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They've recovered over $20 billion. $20 billion is a lot of money for over 500,000 clients. That means it's not just one $80 billion deal or whatever, and the rest of them are losing money. Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. And again, submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is so easy. So if you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. That's important. Their fee is free unless they win. So for more information, go to forthepeople.com/flagrant or dial pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell. That is FORTHEPEOPLE.com/flagrant or just pound 529 from your cell, pound law. Also, guys, if you didn't figure this out already, this is a paid advertisement, but you're not idiots. You know that. Let's get back to the show. What's up, Noodle Dicks? You know what time it is. You know what that light means. That means it's Blue Chew time, the OG sponsor of this podcast. The Chew is the performance-enhancing drug for you noodle dicks out there. If you can't get your dick hard, this is what you got to do. Hey, sometimes you might just want a little lift, a little boost in your performance. You want to impress somebody. You want to make the right first impression, third impression, fifth impression. BlueChew.com is the way to go. Point is, if you're going to do any of these things, you got to go to BlueChew.com. They're the OG sponsors podcast. That's the one we fuck with is the Chew. And because they're the best, and they've been sponsoring us since the beginning, they still got the same special deal for our listeners. You can get Blue Chew for free when you use our promo code FLAGRANT at checkout. You just got to pay $5 shipping. So you go to BlueChew.com, use the promo code FLAGRANT, and you get your first month for free, just $5 for shipping. Also, visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. Thanks, Blue Chew, for sponsoring the pod. Let's get back to the show.
What y'all thought about
black dick on yourself, even if you're wet.
what y'all thought about Rose getting jumped in Vancouver?
That was wild.
Yeah, that was wild. I don't know why he played the song, though. I don't know why you playing this song.
So I was thinking about this.
Can you explain what happened?
Oh, yeah. So Rick Ross went to Vancouver, and he was doing, I guess, a show out there. There was like a festival or something that he was a part of. And then he played...
Not Like Us.
Not Like Us. And... there's some beef ensues. I guess he gets off the stage or whatever. They're backstage. Some people are tussling and he gets swung on, and then all of his bodyguards get beat the shit out of it, and he gets moved to another section, and then
his DJ got beat up.
His DJ got fucked up. But here's the question. Okay. Rick Ross, the immediate question is, why would he play Not Like Us, right?
Yeah.
I had that same question. He can't not. If he doesn't play it, he's pussy. After talking all this shit about Drake, he got a bare minimum play his diss on Drake. Mm-hmm. And if he really is the guy he says he is, he got to play the song that you shouldn't play.
Because he still performs his songs with Drake.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, those are some of his biggest songs.
I imagine they are his biggest, yeah.
So he has the same set everywhere he goes. Those are still included. So... you don't want to get called out by Drake. Be like, you still using me for sales. So now I got to have a little balance.
That's a good point.
That's why.
Do you think it's really a story if he doesn't play Not Like Us? Like, how many people really notice? How big does that story really get?
I don't think it's a story, and I think you're right about that. But I think his
Drake
mentality is, I'm going to bully him. I'm going to call him white boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he's corny. I'm going to go into his hood, and then I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. And I think he wanted the clip of him playing Not Like Us in Canada, and nothing happened.
Of course.
And something happened.
But does it look bad for him?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it actually looks really bad.
His crew got fucked up.
I mean, his crew got destroyed, demolished. Like, he got escorted out, like, just barely. Like, he was hiding behind barricades. This is like, I'm Ricky Rose, I'm tough. You're a little bitch. You're a pussy. You're white. Like, he's really talking shit to Drake, and it's not even in Toronto.
Yeah.
It's in Vancouver.
That's what's really
He got snuffed by a white dude.
I know.
All that white boy talk, you get snuffed by the white dude.
I know. That's wild.
So
it was tiny kids I was fucking him up too.
Yo, I mean, so I do think it's not a good life. 50 Cent's already on it. 50's already dropping
50
shit.
loves
Like,
50 loves
oh, he's immediate. He's there. It's incredible. So I do not think it's the best look.
Yeah, and Drake's whole weapon this whole time has been humor.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't
Rick
been
Ross
toughness.
or Drake?
Rick.
Oh,
Sorry,
you
I said Drake.
Yeah.
Rick Ross's like weapon of choice this whole time with Drake in his feud has been humor.
And it's effective.
Just being funny.
Yeah.
This tough shit, you don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Also, these guys are huge. You assume that they can fight. We don't know that. Get UFC fighting ass bodyguards. Like these
There was
guys.
one guy there that was so fucking big, dude. It was unbelievable. He was a mountain. That
dude
guy.
that got fucked
The
up?
black guy that got absolutely demolished.
He got folded.
Bro,
Dude.
I was wondering. I didn't understand what was happening at first. I was like, "Where's security?" And then I read a comment. I was like, "Oh, that's the security." I was like, "That's not good."
They're usually supposed to just be a deterrent. You see a giant man, you don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're big for a reason. Sometimes they gas out quick.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Hit them one time in the gut and might go down.
The other thing you got to consider is Canada, this whole beef has been basically getting called pussy this whole time. They're going to take that away. Even if they are pussy to us, they're going to try to prove to you, we're not pussy. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah. They're down bad. Their Lord and Savior is like looking
And
funny in the light
apparently
right
he
now,
don't get love in Toronto like he used to at all. But you're just going to keep calling us pussy. We've been made a joke of this whole time. Fuck that. Even if we don't fuck with him, we're going to... It's like my family. If I'm beefing with my family and you say something about him, well, now let's go. And if you start calling our family pussy, it's on.
Gotcha.
So what do you think happened though? Do you think Drake was like, "Oh, Ross is going to be in Canada. We got to send some people to go make sure he acts right," or do you think people were just there and they were like, "Ah, nah"?
I think the latter. I think Drake would send goons, but I don't think those are Drake goons.
I'm more towards the first one.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. What?
Of course.
You coming to my city?
It don't need to come
or
from Drake even.
I know.
Like, I don't think he ever said it. What I think is that the message is out. Like, yo, I think if Rick Ross goes there and he just plays his songs and then leaves and he's not disrespectful, probably nothing happens. Maybe he gets checked a little. Keep in mind, when Pusha T was in Toronto, what happened?
They booed him, I think. That's it.
They
right?
threw the water at the stage.
Okay.
And I think he got like almost attacked on stage. Rick Ross had to know this was coming. There's no question. Like, this is how it goes down. You have to look at Canada like a state. It's not a country, it's a state.
Yeah.
And if you come to that state and you fuck with the governor, you get touched.
Yeah. I think everyone involved in that beef that was against Drake, they'll have problems whenever they go to Canada.
I'm really curious to see what happens when Weeknd goes to Canada.
But why?
I don't know if anything happened to
It's
Weeknd.
the biggest pop artist in the world right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
But he's intimately involved in this beef with Drake. I'm sure he got people that are supporting him in Toronto. And I'm sure that there's people that are supporting Drake. And by people, I mean goons on both sides.
Yeah.
They're going to clash.
I think it's neutral. I feel like it cancels out, is my guess.
Nope.
You don't think so?
There's too much to gain. Like, if you're a goon...
This ain't math, bro.
Yeah, it's like... nah, it's Hamilton. Like, you know Hamilton in the play, I'm going to get my shot. He wants the war.
Yeah.
Because that gives him an opportunity to rise up.
Yeah.
The goons are looking at this like, this is my opportunity to rise up. It's my opportunity to shine.
Yeah, I don't think Kendrick goes to Canada. I think he's just like, I'm not.
I don't even think I don't even think Kendrick. I'm saying the Canadians.
Yeah.
There's Canadians is going back.
Yeah.
You got to see your family.
The Weeknd was at the show in LA, right? I don't think he went on. Obviously, didn't go on stage, but I believe he was there.
Here's what I'm like. Drake liking the post and all that. It's like, dude, you're just making this.
Like in which post?
He
Just so they
liked.
know.
Apparently, Drake liked the post of Rick Ross getting beaten up on somebody's page. He liked that post.
That's fire.
But no. I don't. The move of it, sure, that's funny. Do that, but also like you're just escalating things. We saw this play out in 96, 97. People died. Escalating it, adding fuel to it, making it seem like you co-signed it. I don't think that's a good move because you got to go. And I don't know if Ross is super connected in Miami, but you got to go to Miami. Miami looks pussy. You got to go all over California. California is riding for the West super hard. I would just at least act like you, even if you don't like shit, don't be public about it. Just fall back and be like, hey, man, that's just Canada riding. I can control that.
You got a point. But
You're throwing fuel on a thing that I don't know you want to throw. And I know Drake rolls heavy with security, and they could probably fight better than Ross's security. But why make it harder? Why make it harder?
egos, bro.
So the egos are
Everybody got
crazy.
egos,
But
man.
I will, you bring up an interesting point, which is like the financial repercussions of this. Let's say, for example, I don't think any of them would adhere to this because, Drake went and did the show in Philly immediately after the Meek Mill beef.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think it's going to stop any of them. And I think that there is, like, a false sense of security when you do roll around with that much security.
You don't think it stops him in the Bay if he goes?
So
You got enough money, you can hire the right people. Because then you get cops. Once you have undercover cops, you're good. Like,
Yeah, because nobody wants to fuck with the cops because if you fuck up a cop, then you're going to life.
And they're the most expensive security.
So I think that, again, you will have that kind of confidence that you can operate, whatever. But to what you were saying, beefing with a certain person that restricts your ability to go tour in that area ends up becoming very expensive. You know what I mean? Like let's say us as stand-ups, like let's say we are beefing with some place and we now can't tour all of Florida, all of Canada. Like you could actually calculate how much money you're going to lose because of that beef.
Yeah. And Cali is one of the wealthier states in terms of amount of spending power.
You don't think, I'm agreeing with you 100%. Like
the largest economy in the world.
California by itself, as Miles just said, is the 5th largest economy in the world. Meaning, if you're Drake, you could go and do an arena in San Diego, an arena in Orange County, an arena in LA, an arena in
San Francisco,
and Sacramento, and inland shit is what, like, you could. He won't cut all that off. He'll get the right security, but it is expensive.
That's going to cost him.
And that security is not cheap.
And you got houses out there, like,
oh, you're not hanging.
You can't even go home.
And this was, I honestly look
for what?
I loved Kendrick's all the moves in the beef, but the one thing I was a little worried about was when he said that you think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pac thing. I was like, this is really asking people to.
Yo, low-key,
that was
I was like, this could go very far left. If people don't know, hey, this is all entertainment.
Yeah,
there's always idiots out there.
That's some Taylor Swift shit. That was the one thing about it
I didn't love that line, and I've supported pretty much every movie made, but that line I didn't love.
I remember Taylor did that shit to Scooter.
To Scooter,
and like,
let them know how you feel.
Yeah,
let Scooter Braun know how you feel.
Scooter Braun know how you feel. And you're invoking your audience to go act on your behalf.
Yes.
Now, some of your audience, if you have millions of followers, are going to be mentally retarded.
Yes.
But they love you so much, they'll do anything for your support.
Yeah. They're retarded for you.
For you.
Yeah.
You're their you're their king. You know what I mean? Like, so.
But in a rap beef, why did you guys not like the line?
Because I think it's inciting. Because I think we love the beef as long as it's not violent. Nas and Jay-Z was the best because it didn't get violent as far as we knew. Pac and Big, we look at like, fuck, man, people died over that. That was so stupid.
Yeah. He also doesn't say you're not going to come to the Bay. He says it's going to be your last stop.
Yeah. You think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pac?
And you're basically saying, yo, the Bay, you're pussy if you if you let him disrespect Pac.
Yeah.
He's basically saying if you don't do something.
I didn't.
But then he's also calling Drake pussy if he doesn't go to the Bay.
Yeah.
Right.
Oof.
So it's like,
I'm a fan, dude. I love, again, but that fucking line, I kept thinking in the back of my mind, like, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
You were a fan.
I'm a 69 god, dude. I should make that my bowling handle. But fuck, man. That line, I was like, that could escalate things, and it seems like I fear this is the domino that starts to escalate. And that's why I'm like, Drake, why are you liking this? This is only going to go up from here.
Ceasefire now is what we need.
Ceasefire now, dog.
Yeah.
I don't want to see nobody die behind you.
That would be a good song if Drake dropped that song. Collab, Ceasefire now. That's what we need.
Drake need a banger, bro. I haven't heard this Camilla one that much.
It's not outside at all.
Yeah, he dropped a couple so far, and neither one really.
I told you he should just be quiet for a while.
But
man.
I heard this theory. I don't know if this is true. But apparently, it's possible that he might be contractually obligated to be a part of certain projects as a part of his deal. And he has to continue to put out these tracks that are scheduled for the summer. They got scheduled 6 months ago. And so now he's like, I should lay low, but I've already committed to this thing with Camilla, and so it has to go out. I've already committed to this thing, it has to go out.
That is true.
And that would be...
Because they made this track a minute ago before this beef even started.
Yeah. And maybe it got held off 2 months because it's like, oh, it's really hot right now.
And that is what happens when you're the biggest artist in the world, is that you're not going to just make a song on a whim based on how you feel. Yep. Things are scheduled throughout the year. Your time is so non-existent that they need to schedule these things like that. Got you.
So now you're losing money to delay or to break contract. I don't even know if you can break contract, but you're losing money. And it's like, how long do you wait for? It's
also, imagine what those artists were thinking during this beef. Because before the beef, they're like, I got a song with Drake that's going to come out this summer. I'm going to be the biggest artist in the world. And then whap, 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 whap.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Your career.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But that was part of that was a thing in the beef where Rick Ross was mad at Drake because Drake apparently didn't allow French to put out a song that he was on. And that was one of those things.
Put out a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Sent him a cease and desist.
And so Drake was
he's fucking up the bread.
Exactly.
And now Rick is
like,
upset. Because, I figured that as well, where like, Rick don't really give a fuck. Like, if the money's right, Rick don't care.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah. That's one of the ones I really want to know his reasoning for his beef with Drake, because it can't be the friendship. Like it got to be something.
Well, he represented Meek Mill. Meek Mill was his client. He manages Meek.
But he didn't play any sides during the beef.
Exactly. He didn't stick up for beef when it
Yeah,
counted.
nobody stuck up. And this is honestly what Rick Ross should have done, which is what he did, I think, the day after he dropped the Drake diss, is he performed the songs he did with Drake, I think, at like a high school prom or some shit, and just leaned into the humor.
Yeah.
If he went to Canada and just leaned into the humor and did all the songs with Drake and then made a joke about it.
Well, Al was saying he still does the songs.
Yeah, so just make the joke of it. Put that clip out.
Got it.
Hey, Drake, I still need these. He's one-off humor this whole time.
You can't.
I know the ego gets there, but
bro,
I would have loved it.
Yeah.
That would have been funny. This, I'm legit concerned about where this goes. I might just be 40. But.
No. No, you're actually speaking facts.
While we're talking about this music shit, there is a documentary that is on, and let me preface this by saying, what is the greatest concert I ever said I've been to?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greatest concert I've ever been to in my entire life was Taylor Swift. I say that Taylor Swift is Michael Jackson today. It's the closest thing we have to Michael Jackson.
You call her mother. You call her mother.
I call her mother. Much to the ire of the internet, I have said that this is the closest thing we have to Michael Jackson. Massive Taylor Swift fan. Was not a Taylor Swift fan until I went to that concert, and then I saw it and I was like, this girl's the truth. This is just the most amazing concert I've ever seen. There's a documentary on Max right now that is HBO's streaming service.
Correct.
And I believe it's only 2 parts.
Yep.
And it is about
Bad
Taylor
Blood,
Swift,
it's called.
Bad Blood, but Taylor Swift and Scooter Braun. Now, Scooter is our homie. I just want to point this out.
Yeah.
Okay. Love Scooter. I tell him all the time that Taylor's the greatest artist I've ever seen live. Okay. I've been telling him this for fucking years. Yeah. 100%.
I think he knew this while I was.
He knew. Yeah, he knew. He invested.
He agrees.
Yeah. I watched this documentary. It's a 2-part documentary. Yeah. One part is Taylor's side, one part is Scooter's side.
Yes.
That was cool.
You said it?
No,
I
I didn't
watched
see
it.
but
You watched it. Okay.
It's cool.
You guys should all watch this.
Yes.
The fact that this document, keep this in mind, Taylor Swift is the biggest artist in history. She's factually the biggest artist in history. This documentary is almost impossible to find on Max.
Yeah.
It's never hit #1 on Max.
Yeah.
This is, let me clarify this again. Imagine at the height of Michael Jackson's career, a documentary came out on one of the premier streaming services about Michael Jackson, and nobody was talking about it.
Interesting.
Wouldn't you go, what's going on over here?
Yeah.
It almost makes you think that there's some information in that documentary
Yep.
that Taylor's team might not want the world to see.
Ooh.
And if you watch this documentary,
Yep.
you will find out that Scooter Braun is a fucking asshole, man. No, I'm just saying. You will see that what we think happened
Yeah.
and what actually happened between Taylor and Scooter is a world apart.
She framed a very different narrative than the reality.
This girl is, she's truly brilliant. And she's incredibly genuine. Meaning, and the power of when someone is genuine is whenever they say something, you believe it to be true. When you watch her like on interview shows or even like on an interview in the red carpet, whatever she says in that moment is the most pure, authentic, genuine thing. Like she melts you. It's amazing her ability to communicate. When you watch her just talking to a single person, you see why she's so endearing and so likable. When Kanye calls her and asks her kind of for permission to do the song, but it's not even really. I think that was actually framed really poorly too. Even the way she's on the phone, she's not on the phone like the biggest artist in the world. She's on the phone like a little girl that thinks that like she's going to be bullied by her older cousin.
Kanye stole her moment. And she's not on stage like yelling, da-da-da. She's just kind of like, oh.
They asked her after that, like, how do you feel about that? She was like, wasn't that good? She's like, they're like, were you a fan of Kanye West? And she goes, yeah, it's Kanye West. Now, there's a power to that. And I also understand like what she represents to women is something that we'll never understand. She is petty. And women wish they were petty. They're not petty to that dude that fucked them over because they still want to get him. They're still in love with them. They're still heartbroken. They wish that he would let them back into their lives. Not Taylor. Taylor's coming out and she's fucking clapping full. She's putting the fucking "they not like us" treatment on every single dude she's with.
She's Michael Jordan. She remembers everybody that wronged her, and I'm going to fucking destroy you.
Now, what if I would posit this theory just from watching it, and I implore you all to watch this because it paints a very, very different story. What if Taylor was really upset at Justin Bieber, Steve Borchetta or Scott Borchetta? Yeah, the guy who was the person who originally owned the record label. Big Machine that Scooter ended up buying. What if the beef was with Justin Bieber, Scott Borchetta, and Kanye West? And the problem with Justin Bieber and Kanye West is they have fan bases, man. They have people who ride for them. They have people who are ready to go to war, ready to fight, ready to sling death threats, ready to go out there and get active, just like Swifties are. Believers are out there. Yeah. Kanye's fans, as we know, are fucking out there.
Yeah.
What if the easiest person to make the scapegoat for all of your issues is the person who doesn't have the fan base?
Yeah.
What if her ire for Justin and her ire for Kanye all gets funneled into Scooter?
Subconsciously or consciously?
I think that she is a brilliant woman and she is calculating all these things in real time. Like Justin was...
What would her beef be with Justin? I don't know.
He was dating Selena and she was best friends with Selena and like maybe it wasn't going that great with Selena. So she was like, you're treating my girl shitty. So I got her back.
Go to war. Okay.
And also he was antagonistic. Like there's this moment in the doc where like, I think this has been like, put all over the world, but like Justin posted a picture on Instagram of him FaceTiming Kanye, Scooter, and a DJ named Martin Garrix. And he goes, the caption of it is, what's up, Taylor?
Yeah, hi,
so
something like that, yeah.
He's like antagonizing. What a lot of people don't realize is, and they don't even say this in the doc, that picture he took from Martin Garrix's Instagram. They didn't take the picture, like the idea of the picture wasn't, hey, let's antagonize Taylor. The idea with the picture is, hey, all of us are together, we're boys, let's do it. And then he took it from Martin Garrix's Instagram and then used it to antagonize
If you look
Taylor.
at it, Justin's the big image.
Yeah.
So it wasn't him that took it.
Yeah. It was them that screenshotted Justin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But he's still antagonizing.
Anybody.
Well, Justin is doing the antagonization, but it's not like Scooter, Kanye, and Justin are all coming together to antagonize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's no smoke from Taylor to Justin.
Yeah.
I don't see the songs about Justin.
Yeah.
I don't even see that many about Kanye, to be honest with you.
No, she took some jabs.
Yeah, she took some shots at him.
But like for as big a thing as she'll give a whole album to a motherfucker she dated for a week. And just light jabs to Kanye.
She ain't give him no pussy. That's what.
I think she is.
I like
that
this theory.
could be true. Is it also possible she's just an incredibly shrewd businesswoman, and instead of paying for her masters, which apparently Scooter did offer, and there was a negotiation, and she didn't love the price, instead of doing all that, you know what I could do for free? Re-record everything, get my fans to buy it even more by weaponizing victimhood. And now, not only do I not have to pay hundreds of millions for my masters, I'm gonna be a fucking billionaire.
So.
Yeah, that
100% yes.
That move is fire.
So, but here's the thing that's really interesting about that move. And even the documentary doesn't get this right. We even need to go back in the math a little bit. So obviously the big dispute is she has this Big Machine record label. She's been signed with them for like 13 years or something like that. Yeah. She finally is done with her deal and she basically wants to buy her masters back. Big Machine goes, well, we can do a workout. So every new album that you give us, we'll give you one of your old albums masters. And they talk about, there's also another one where it's a complete buyout. And she's like, you know what? I don't want to do that. Okay. Now there's an important component that's happening during this time that nobody's aware of, but I'll tell you guys in a second. She goes, I don't want them. Matter of fact, it's okay. Okay.
She says she doesn't want her master.
She doesn't want it. There's email correspondence for all this. Okay. Now keep in mind, Taylor has said throughout this process, I never knew anything. No, they didn't even give me the opportunity. Her words are on video saying this.
Is her dad involved?
While there's, we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
While there's email correspondence saying otherwise. Now, her dad, once she signed with this record label, bought a 3% share of the record label.
Yeah.
Okay. So he is a shareholder and on the executive board. Now, in the documentary, they say he didn't want to have to lie to his daughter about certain things, so he denied opening all the emails. He was on the executive board, but he didn't open the emails. But they placed one of the management people from Taylor on the emails. So
the manager saw
one of that manager guys who was on the team saw every single thing. Now, once it came out that there was email records of Taylor knowing what was going on and her team knowing what was going on, and that was not that information was not consistent with what Taylor was saying, that guy who was on those emails, that manager, just so happened to retire.
Okay.
Maybe he was tired of his job. Maybe he no longer wanted to work for the biggest artist of all time.
Yeah.
Or maybe you get put out to the pasture. Who fucking knows? It doesn't matter. Point is, she decides not to. 2 ways to buy it out. She decides not to. She signs to Universal. Okay? That really pisses off Big Machine. Why the fuck would you sign to Universal? I gave you an opportunity, 1, buy them, or 2, earn them out. And you're going to go sign to Universal. Now, Universal has made a deal with Taylor that nobody else is aware of. And that deal is that they were going to buy the masters back for her and give it to her. This isn't even in the documentary. So Universal plans to give her back the masters. That's why she goes to them. The guy who was at Universal, Lucian Grange, I believe his name is, right? He signed the biggest artist in history away from Big Machine. How do you think that makes Big Machine feel?
Oh, pretty salty.
You think he wants to sell the masters to Universal?
Okay.
There's this other guy that comes around named Scooter Braun.
He didn't know any of this.
He goes, does Taylor want to buy the masters? Because if she does, I would like her to be involved in this. I'm investing in Taylor. I want to be involved for a business. I think she's the biggest fucking thing in the world.
And what was, at the time, what was Scooter's relationship with Taylor? Was there any?
No.
She had a little issue with him because he repped Kanye, and she took that as a slap in the face, apparently. Oh, really?
Not yet.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, take it back.
I'm pretty sure the timing isn't even yet. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
The timing isn't yet. Matter of fact, Scooter didn't rep Kanye until after the Famous video comes out.
Okay.
So she's upset at Scooter for repping Kanye, but he didn't even rep until after the Famous. Now, he did promote the video, and he promoted the art piece, which is like has her in a wax sculpture naked, which I think is kind of like there's a woman's body. Like, you can say it's art. It's,
I can also
statement about culture, but you can also be like, yo, there's my titties.
And I can see a woman feeling like kind of violated by that.
100%. So I'm like, that's just
I give her that.
That's corny.
Completely.
But when that call happened with Kim and all them and how they were doubling down and making it look like she was lying, which she wasn't lying. If anything, I'd defend the fuck out of Taylor with that. She said, I don't know if I'm comfortable with it just yet, and then never mentioned the bitch line. Yeah. So she never gave consent. She was like, that one didn't seem that bad. But she never said, yeah, go run with it. And then Kim and them tried to make her look like some fucking hypocrite. It was some gross shit.
Yeah, after that. It came out after that.
It was gross.
Kim lied to her.
Yeah, it's corny. Anyway, Scooter tries to do it. Scooter buys the things, fucks up the whole deal from Universal. You know who loves the fact that they're fucking over Universal? Big Machine. You just bought out, you stole my artist, and now you think I'm going to sell you the masters so you can make even more money with her? Nah, fuck you. I'm going to sell them to this other guy.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
It seems kind of like Taylor's made the label, right?
Well, the label, when Scooter bought the entire label. She was for $300 million. She was 140 million of it. She wasn't even the majority of the label. Now, he's not buying it if she's not on there.
Well, she might have been the plurality, right?
She is the reason you buy it. But keep in mind, there are still $160 million worth of assets that are on that label.
So my question is, why wouldn't Big Machine just be like, yo, Taylor, we signed you. You gave us 7 amazing albums. We did an amazing job together. Just as a sign of good faith, we're going to give you back your masters. Like, in my mind, if you're an artist, it's like...
worth $140 million.
Yeah, what are you talking
gives
about?
away 100
But my question is, if you put in all this time, you're an artist, you make all these songs, why are you not entitled to having your art that you make?
Because that's not the business model.
Yeah. That's not the contract you
that
signed.
is the artist model that we all feel life was that way, but
That's my point.
So
this is public perception. Is that people look at this and they go, look, she made the songs, she wrote them herself. You can see the pen and paper. She recorded them with her voice. She played all the instruments. Why is she not entitled to it? That seems kind of fucked up.
So I think Dave Portnoy has like the best description of this. Ironically, I know that he's like the biggest Taylor Swift fan. He shits on Scooter all the time, but like his model is much similar to Scooter's. So what he says is, especially with the Call Her Daddy thing, it's like our business model is to take 20 different bets. We bet on 20 different podcasts, maybe one blows, and that's what can pay for all this. And that's what record labels do. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, it sucks. Once you're the artist that's making all the money, you're like, fuck, I want more fucking money. I completely get this.
But there's 19 other artists who only eat because you were successful.
And that is the game. And that one pays for the other fucking 19.
And I don't think people realize that about the music industry.
Not at all.
It's kind of set up to where nine people don't make it and one person does. And so you got to like lean on the person that does make it to get back the bet on the other 9.
And those people, and that one person that does make it is like, well, I was always going to make it. Why the fuck do I have to pay for those other people? Because everyone who makes it believes that they were always going to make it.
And there was no option.
You know, nobody's like that surprised by it. You dedicated your life to it.
And Taylor probably would have made it any other way.
She would have made it no matter what.
And
but she happened to make it with them.
I don't know if you want to bog down the whatever with like some of these other facts, but some of the things that she says just outright were not true. Like she said, Scooter tried to make me sign an NDA if I wanted to buy the masters, that I would never publicly defame him. I could never criticize him for the rest of my life. That's just not true at all. The NDA was you can't discuss the deal, which is every NDA that you ever sign.
Also, there's another thing, like in the documentary, they go, not only did Scooter sell the music to this company, because he ended up selling it as well.
Yeah.
He also made sure that he would continue to profit on it.
Yeah.
That's not the case. He sold it to this private equity company, Shamrock, that's owned by Disney, right? They were scared because Taylor said she's going to re-release the albums. So they're like, we're not going to give you all the money. Yeah, this is worth $400 million. We're going to give you 330, and you're going to have to earn out the other 70, because if she starts pumping out albums, that's going to kill our profit. Scooter goes, I think the more people listen to the new albums, the more they'll listen to the old. They'll compare them. What is it called? The rising tide lifts all boats. And he was right. He ends up earning it out. But it wasn't, hey, I need to be involved in the upside. It was they were scared to give him market value for the albums because they thought it would be undercut by her re-recording.
Why did Scooter sell to that company instead of Universal?
I think they were probably made the biggest deal. One, actually, he offered to sell it to Taylor.
Yeah.
And then she blackmailed him.
Wait, what?
This is not in the documentary either. She didn't blackmail him, but she's basically like, not her, but like her team is basically like, sell it at a loss, and then she'll stop using all this Me Too language about you.
Oh,
she uses a lot of Me Too language.
If you look at it, it's like, I did not give my consent.
Yeah.
She was using these like sexually charged words to describe what's going on. And the team, there's like email correspondence of all this. That's the thing. It's like, sell it at a loss, and then she'll stop painting you as this bad guy, but only if you sell it at a loss. And he's like, fuck that. You've already painted me as a bad guy. You sent all of your fans at me. They're giving me death threats. They're giving my kids death threats.
Yeah.
Like
when she said, she said, I never knew about this. This happened without my consent. Let Scott Borchetta and Scooter Braun know how you feel. She knows. Matter of fact, in that Kanye phone call, he goes, hey, I want to get your permission because you have an army behind you. She's
also,
aware.
She also realizes that like Scott Borchetta's name gets no clout. So she stops referencing Scott Borchetta and only references Scooter. Scott Borchetta is the guy who owned the fucking masters. Now, I understand the frustration of her having her masters with the guy that represents Justin, who she fucking hates because of Selena. And then I guess the Kanye thing would be happening later, but still, I understand that frustration. It's like, this guy owns my work and he represents these two people that I fucking hate. And I can't get angry at them because then their fans are going to shit on me and that's going to just be ugly. So I'll just get angry at that guy.
You know what's crazy is I looked up on Twitter after I watched the doc. I was like, I just want to see what the comments are. So many of the comments are, I just watched the documentary. I love Taylor even more. Fuck Scooter Braun even more. And it's y'all are just going to live in the reality you want to live in. That's the thing.
It's an emotional thing. And she is brilliant. Yes. There is nobody. This is the brilliance of Taylor Swift. You ready? And I love her. It was the greatest concert I've ever been to. This is the genius of Taylor Swift.
You're scared of them Swifties, bro.
No. You're right.
I am.
You're right. You're right. This is the genius. Ready? Has there ever been anyone in history that is a billionaire, the most successful in their field, truly unstoppable, chart-topping success, and also unanimously thought of as a victim?
Impossible.
To manage those two things is masterful. I mean, the emotional IQ necessary to have all of your fans still see you as a victim while everybody that has aggrieved you has been punished, thrown to the way inside, fucked up. Now, I tell Scooter, I was like,
Michael Jackson did it for a little bit. Oh, he tried.
And then
he tried.
And then,
yeah, I know, yeah.
But like, I tell Scooter, I was like, yo, nobody got to feel bad for you. You're a billionaire too. The fuck are we complaining about?
Yeah.
Like, you ended up killing it. I understand where you're coming from, where you're like, yeah, but like, people think of me like as this thing that isn't true. Like, there is facts and evidence and emails that shows that she is lying. This is not a true thing. And people still think of me that way. And that would frustrate the fuck out of me.
So the wife, his ex-wife was saying she was getting phone calls at the house threatening the lives of her and the kids. Like, this is not, yo, I made money. That's great. You don't have to feel bad for me, but that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I don't, like, what is the Taylor Swift breakup song that's a three-dimensional, we were both at fault, things just didn't work out. Sorry about that, man. I wish it did.
Yeah, but that's not art. Yeah, I see your point, but I'm
That,
like,
I mean, yeah.
I understand your point, but that would be boring. Like where's the rap song where it's like, well, he did have a reason to shoot up my homies, but I have to get my payback. Like, that's the rap you want like emotionally measured.
I mean, what's that good
No, you want whap, yeah, fuck him up.
But there's plenty of
pedophile.
There's plenty of breakup songs that are like, we were too young or whatever. You know what I mean? We were too young. There's songs that are
that's a Drake
like that
song.
everywhere. Yeah, exactly.
You understand the point.
Yeah,
it does. The art is better this way, without a doubt, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy to see like Big Machine or whatever has the emails on their website.
Yeah.
Like, this proof is there. It just shows like humans are so emotional. Like, we just want you to represent a feeling we have. And then if you don't, we're not even gonna look the other way. I bet you Taylor and Scooter have never spoken, by the way, since they spoke like maybe 3 times before this. And once shit started to cook, they've never spoken against. I bet you, my suspicion is, once the narrative is set, you don't want to talk to somebody that could finish my sentence.
yeah, I mean, like, you talk to someone that then makes you feel empathy for them and see both sides. You're like, oh, damn, maybe I did overreact a little.
Yeah.
No, like, you're making money and have your army going with your narrative. Like, don't change it.
Live in your bubble.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
House of the Dragon.
Did
Did you watch?
I've only watched about 30 minutes of the episode.
Oh, okay.
Dude, this conversation you're having right now
Is
right at there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down for you guys. We could talk about it.
The last thing I was thinking on the Taylor
say as
point
many
is
as you
that I think she really did benefit from being, again, I don't think the Kanye thing made her famous. I think that's obviously not true, but it did thrust her into a national spotlight in the eyes of the American people as someone that get taken advantage of as a victim. And that's really, really beneficial.
And that has never stopped happening.
No.
She has continued. She saw the power.
And she
in
was a
that.
victim there. Like, I think what happened was wrong.
Absolutely.
But being brought into the national spotlight in that way, I think is really
It's
beneficial.
funny. I was watching the doc, and they talk about when Kanye calls her, and they have this interaction, which is quite charming. And he goes, he asks her if it's okay if he puts a line in the song. And the line of the song that he asks is not "I made that bitch famous."
Yeah.
It's "I think Taylor Swift might owe me sex." That's the line he asks her. Okay. And he sets it up by like, "I think you might be upset." And then she's like, she's like, "Is it mean?" Yeah. He goes, no, it's just whatever. Like, you feel so bad for this girl. And then he goes, "I think Taylor Swift might owe me sex." And she goes, "Oh, well, that's not that mean." She kind of laughs a little bit. She goes, "Okay, well, I just kind of need to think about it, but I thought it was going to be way worse." She doesn't co-sign it, but just thinks about it. He doesn't ask her about the, "I made that bitch famous." Here's the thing. I genuinely believe Kanye believes he made her famous. So he's going into that call like, well, this is undisputable. I don't need to ask her this line. Like, I made her famous, so that is obvious.
From a person, if you're not in tune with pop music at all, I wasn't aware of Taylor Swift
Until
before
that
day.
moment.
Yeah.
So I'm honestly like defensive of Kanye with that, because I bet he was blindsided when he found out she was upset with that.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like as if Big Sean was like, "I can't believe Kanye said he made me famous." He'd be like, "I did make you famous. Nobody fucking knew you."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So whatever, there's so many of these things, just like every like great controversy, there's so much information swirling around and nobody talking to one another.
Yeah.
Like, you ever like get in an argument with your wife and like neither of you is saying how a thing that they did made you feel.
Yeah.
And then when you reconcile, you're like, oh, you didn't mean it that way?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's this whole drama.
Son, you got to get Mom and Scooter on the phone, bro. The mother, whatever you call it.
I mean, how awesome would that be?
Get
if they
him on
just,
the phone. That's it. Combo,
she reached
usually.
the top. There's nothing she can do. He reached the top. There's nothing more he can do. Like, what if they had a conversation and just squashed it? And she was like, yeah, I shouldn't have, told the fans to go do that shit to you guys. And like, I wish that I knew that was her perspective. And then Scooter was like, I wish I didn't pump that famous video as much. And I could see how that made you feel and it was uncomfortable. And like, I wish that you got back to me about buying the fucking albums. Or I wish I knew Universal was planning to buy them in the first place. If I knew that, maybe I would try to partner with both of you guys on it. Like, but once you're setting your narrative, how can Taylor come out and be like, yeah, I was actually just kind of manipulating my fan base to be mean to him and using the Me Too movement?
I mean, when you say
like, she can never say that.
Say it like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it like that.
She can never say it like that.
I wouldn't say it like that.
If we're trying to make this call happen, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't frame it that way.
Yeah.
But it's a crazy.
It was just
Here's the thing about the documentary. It kind of is boring. I'll be honest with you. Like it's not the best documentary.
I mean, entertainment laws.
Yeah, but you knew a lot more shit that the doc doesn't say.
That makes it way more interesting.
And here's what I also noticed watching the doc. The Taylor side is like they're both like 50 minutes each. 35 minutes of it is what a great person Taylor is, and everybody loves her, and all these other things happen to her. And then there's like 5 to 10 minutes of here's what happened with the deal. And then the Scooter side is like 10 to 15 minutes. Here's Scooter is, and then 30 minutes. Here's facts about the deal.
But they go
and
hard
I thought
with
that
Scooter.
was telling.
Like they let us know that Scooter's family died in the Holocaust like 30 seconds in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like they go hard in the paint. They're like, yo, by the way, it got nothing to do with Taylor. Taylor not German. You know what I mean? There's no reason to bring up the Holocaust. But immediately in the beginning of Scooter's side, it's like, by the way, Scooter's whole family died in the Holocaust or survived the Holocaust. They got him doing like a little, school presentation at like 7 years old talking about the Holocaust.
Damn.
I'm like, what the fuck does God do with that?
Smart. There you go.
Okay, UFC 303. Real quick, or we go to Patreon?
Patreon.
Okay, we go to Patreon. Guys, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you at Patreon, patreon.com/flagrant. See y'all over there. Peace.